guy tonight that I'll bet you outside of Fultonville, nobody knows who the hell he is.
Craig Ward, and they're looking forward to being on the televised game tonight.
Oh, they're all excited about it.
Yeah.
And you talked to them a little bit before the game, and they've only won one game in the league so far, and I asked them, why did you bother entering in this league? He said, well, we wanted to play the best, we wanted to get some experience, find out how good we are, and maybe be better come play down time. So this could be his 15 minutes or 2 hours in the curling spotlight. He may or may not like it, but you have to admire their enthusiasm. They've only won one game. The game they won last week against Doug Walker, and it's the only game they won. Walker went out, won the Lloydminster Spiel, picked up something like $10,000. So they're pumped for this game.
And they are. Craig Ward against Ken Hunka. We'll be back to talk with the Skips right after this.
The Herber's Auto Body Super League is brought to you in part by Herber's Auto Body. With a 98% customer satisfaction rating, Herber's Auto Body is a family-owned business celebrating its 20th year in the Edmonton area. Free courtesy cars, on-time completion of repairs, and a written warranty go with every job. Mechanical work is also available, including steering, suspension, and wheel alignments. Ask about low-interest financing, too. Herber's Auto Body. Auto Body like it never happened.
One of the Skips in our feature game here tonight at the Ottewell Curling Club. Craig Ward, and as Wes was just mentioning, a relative newcomer to the league. But tell us a bit about your team, how long you've been together and the like.
Well, this is the second year for this team. John and I have been together for about 12 or 13 years. And it's just the second year for this team, and it's our first year that we're really going more competitive and trying to do more bond spiels. And we're here to try to learn how to beat these teams, quite frankly.
And these teams here are the ones you have to beat when you get to the northern level.
If you go anywhere, it doesn't matter if it's cities or northerns, you have to learn how to beat these teams. And these are the same teams that you're going to meet up with. And it's not good enough just to play with them. You have to learn how to beat them. And that's why we're here.
Quite a learning experience, isn't it?
It really is. It really is. And the competition is really much higher than we anticipated it would be. And if you look at all the teams here, I mean, this is a really tough league. Anywhere in Canada, this is a tough league.
You're exactly right. Well, play well tonight. Looking forward to watching.
Thanks, Jay.
All right, Craig Ward, and he is going against Ken Hunka. And Ken, we're talking last year you lost the final to Kevin Park, and here you are sitting with a 3-4 record, which is kind of surprising.
Yeah, we haven't been playing that well in the league here. We went to a couple of spiels. We won Red Deer again this year, so but for some reason we haven't been going very well here yet. So, but it's a long year yet.
Oh, here yet, where you're rubbing it in my face that you slaughtered us last night in the Shamrock League?
There was no slaughter, Jackie. You know that. You girls played very well.
Oh, thanks. So did you, and play well tonight. Looking forward to watching.
Thank you.
All right, Ken Hunka going against Craig Ward. We'll be back with first-hand action right after this.
The Herber's Auto Body Super League is brought to you in part by TireCraft. You'll drive through every season with confidence when you prepare for the unexpected with TireCraft. You'll find a wide selection of tire brands with the ideal all-season, winter, and performance tires to keep you rolling. TireCraft also provides expert mechanical service, oil changes, brakes, batteries, wheel alignments, shocks, and struts. Over 90 locations in Western Canada. Trust TireCraft. Sports Can Summit, the corporate clothing and embroidery experts for over 18 years. Their showroom features the largest selection of corporate clothing and sportswear in the city. Sports Can Summit is your fastest and most cost-effective route to true professional quality embroidery. And if you can't come to their showroom, they can come to you in one of their mobile showrooms. An industry exclusive, Sports Can Summit. If it's crested, we do it.
Hi once again, everybody, and welcome to tonight's action in the Herbert's Auto Body Super League. This is week number 6, 7, 8, 8.
Good counting.
8. Well, we play one week, don't play the next week. Miss the week, play the next week. It's week number 8. And our game tonight, Craig Ward, Jackie just talking to the two skips involved. A newcomer in this league, age 36, and the old guy, Ken Hunka, who actually hasn't played that long in this league. But is a veteran curler in this area. At 47 years of age, he lies a lot, and one of the top competitive curlers, not only in our neck of the woods, but on the planet today. So I would think that Ken Hunka and his team, the veterans that they are, would be big favorites in this game, but it's played on ice, and they still have to make their shots. We'll see what happens here.
And that was lead Rob Dupuis throwing it right up right away. So these two teams going to be going right after it.
And this is the veteran Lance Deely, one of Edmonton City's finest, one of the top front end men in competitive curling today. Out with his out turn. Lance, 42 years of age, as I mentioned, with the Edmonton Police Department. He's been curling for 12 years. A bit of a late bloomer, but boy, once he started, came on strong, played front end for Mark Johnson when they were in the provincial men's playdowns over there at the Avenir 3 years ago, which Shaw Cable televised and Videotron, and well, he just about makes them all.
And as Rob Dupuis gets to throw a in-turn draw here, our update game is one we're going to actually be going over to quite a bit. It's a game between Brent MacDonald, who is currently sitting in a tie for first place with a 6-1 record. He is playing Cathy Borst, who is sitting with a very impressive 4-3 record. Those two teams are flying out tomorrow, heading off to Brandon, Manitoba, in search of that Olympic qualifying berth. So we'll keep, as I say, popping over to that game and keep you up to date and just see how those two teams are faring as they head into an incredible event that will begin televised on TSN this Saturday night and run right through to the weekend.
Yeah, they got games every day. There'll be,
you betcha,
lots of interest locally. That must be very exciting for Cathy and Brent MacDonald and their teams, along with Kevin Park and Kevin Martin, the defending Brier champion. 4 teams from this league, all with the chance and a legitimate shot at possibly representing the country in the Olympics in Japan this coming winter. You took a shot at that and didn't quite make it. That'd be very exciting to go, wouldn't it?
Oh, it is. And as Brent MacDonald, I was speaking to him before he went out on the ice, and he says, I'm tired of waiting. I just want to get down there and want to start curling, because they have known for over a year that they had this berth. And they are really, really looking forward to just get at her.
And I think all of the 4 teams that are going are playing pretty good. I mean, Kevin Martin in particular, talk about getting hot at the right time. Here's a guy that didn't really show up in the World Curling Tour standings about 3 weeks ago, went over to Switzerland, got into a final, picked himself up maybe $7,500 there, something like that, and then went to that big one in Saskatoon and picked up top money, $60,000. Now they're second in the World Curling standings, and I'm sure even more important to them than the money, they're playing their best just when they want to, going into those Olympic trials in Brandon.
As Martin's always wanted to admit that they are slow starters as a team, and usually come play down time, they're peaking at the right time for the Brier. But this year they've got her going at the right time.
And Kevin Park qualified in a competition in a McCain Spiel just a couple of weeks ago, so his team obviously going well. And Brent MacDonald's team also won on the World Curling Tour, so they're going well. Cathy Borst won the one in Leduc on the Ladies Curling Tour, so obviously she's sharp and is qualified for 1 or 2 other Spiels too. So it looks like all 4 of the Edmonton rings from this Super League, which is regarded as the best in Canada, the best in North America, probably the best on the planet, are going their best just at the right time.
Yeah.
Better not mess with our mixed team, or we could bring their confidence level down. But other than that,
this is Ken Gaume throwing the out-turn hit.
that's all the nice things I'm going to say about those 4 teams. That's it for them. They're lucky to be there. Ken, 32 years of age, been curling for 19 years. He's a structural engineer. Gets that thing on the beezer. What's that be? Is there flies out in the ice or what?
No, he's just saying, just throw nice normal.
Nice normal?
That's a nice normal signal.
That's somewhere between heavy normal, down normal, nice normal.
Yeah, an easy normal.
There he is from New Sarepta, Terry Sock. You won't ever see him, well, very seldom miss him. Oh, I was just going to say he can make those too, but you won't ever see him miss a complete takeout unless he goes right to sleep throwing the rock. He's tough.
Yeah, very strong part of his game, the hitting portion of it. Gets a great roll there. So the third for Craig Ward. John Schmidt has a touchy in-turn shot here on his first rock of the game.
Well, we got some drag racers here. John, Capital Raceway Super Gas champion in 1996. Guys live dangerously in the off-curling season. This is his in turn, which should straighten up a little bit, but not enough to make this shot.
But at least he clears off the guard, which is important. Ken Hunka has the last rock here in the first end.
Oof, just looking at John Schmidt's credentials as a drag racer. Boy, I tell you, he's got a list as long as your arm.
That's long. And this is Brent MacDonald in the update game. This is his last rock here in the first end. He made just a great across the house double with his first rock. Here with his last rock, he is trying to just do a tap back on Cathy Borst rock there, but you can see he just rubs, and Cathy will have a draw for two. Cathy made a nice out-turn come around on her first rock.
Well, here she is, the former Canadian junior ladies champion. Two-time provincial ladies champion. Boy, she's been banging on the door.
Yeah, just to it.
As far as the Canadian Ladies Championship is concerned. It'll all be worthwhile after all these years of curling and practicing. Cathy can pull it off in Brandon next week. Boy, she's got a strong supporting role with her.
Hurry!
Needs full 4-foot to get her two here in the first end. Front end of Brenda Bomer and Kate Horn having a look at it now.
It looks pretty good.
And a great shot by Cathy Borst. Picks up two in the first end, so it's 2-0 there as we head back to our feature game. And you can see there that Ken Hunka is lying one right on the button. And his third, Tracy Telford, is just looking to throw one out top 8-foot, top 4.
Hurry hard.
Could be totally buried.
Quick hard. Hard, 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 hard. Quick, get it, buddy. Come on. Hard. Quick. Hard. That's a good shot.
That's a good guide.
Yeah, well, it's better than being deep. You can do something with that one. Craig now looking at the raise on the intern side.
Well, Craig was mentioning, talking to him before the game, very personable young man. Grew up in the village of Alliance. You know who else grew up? Well, almost grew up in the village of Alliance.
Whom?
Rudy Ramcharan.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, there was somebody here who wanted to make sure that we mentioned and said hello to Craig Ward's grandma of Alliance, who's watching this show. Grandma?
Hi, Grandma.
Enjoy the game tonight. Here he is, your grandson right now, with a tough shot right off the bat.
Now that he does, an angle raise.
Yep.
Well, he's not outside with this thing.
Hurry. Hurry hard.
He's close.
And does he get a piece of it?
Ooh, how do you like that, Grandma? Not quite, though.
Well, he shot rock, though, with that
Yes, he
one on
is.
the side. That's the one good thing. And pushed it off the button into the open.
Well, they're just debating on the ice, not the shot.
See by the replay there, if they could hold it a little straighter, a little longer, he would have nosed it right onto it.
Yeah, that runs awful straight right there where Craig threw it. I thought he might be a little inside on that, but he almost made that thing perfect. So that would indicate this won't move. Tracy Telford holding the broom. The veteran Ken Hunka in the hack. 16 years of manager of the Shamrock Curling Club. Gave it all up this year to try a little change of life. Working back in the oil patch.
He was tight to the stick on that one. He's on the top.
Maybe not.
Ooh.
That's what I thought about Craig. So
Great brushing by Terry Sock and Lance Dealey, but it gives Craig Ward the opportunity to hit that one that he pushed out into the open. So here he comes down. Craig Ward, his second rock, final rock of the end.
federal government food inspector. Couple of kids, Chad Megan. I would imagine Chad Megan probably watching with Mummy Joy tonight. Hi, gang. See what Dad can do with this one. Pretty easy out turn right here. He won't be disappointed if he just kills this thing. Gets it out of there. Lots of weight with that out turn. They jump it right away. Certainly got a piece of it.
That's about all he gets. It's just the piece. Ken Hunka won't hesitate any time to get down the ice and blank this first end. Craig Ward was hoping to get a hit and roll behind those center guards, forcing Ken Hunka to take one here in the first end, but a little tight of the stick, rolls out.
Pretty good.
So Ken going to throw the in turn in that spot. Craig just threw his out turn just to learn some ice. See what it does out there with the in turn.
Get pretty picky in his old age. When he's younger, he used to just pick up the rock and throw it. But Jack, you mentioned Ken's just testing now. He's finding out what it might do if he has to make a shot out there. And so nothing going here in the
You're
first
right.
end.
It's all blank. We'll be back with end two and right after this.
The Inner City Agencies Foundation is a cooperative venture of 7 agencies who are working together to increase awareness of the importance of their work with the people in Edmonton's disadvantaged community and to jointly raise funds. The agencies work closely together to provide a network of emergency responses and long-term supports for inner city people at all stages of their lives. This message is brought to you by the people at Saville.
And we're back as we have a look at the standings. As we mentioned, Brent MacDonald is in a 4-way tie for first place with some names we know.
Yeah, well, Randy Furby's team is starting to get hot right about this time. They were in the final of the big Wayside Inn Classic in Lloydminster a couple of weekends ago and picked himself up a nice check. I think second prize was around $6,500, $7,000, losing to Doug Walker in the final. So Randy and company are 6-1. Gary Greening, imagine that. I hope he's not burning himself out, is 6-1. I say that because Gary's skipping our team in the provincial mixed championships in Sexsmith in December. Brent MacDonald, as Jack mentioned, 6-1, and James Paul skipping a ring for the first time in this league is 6-1. Then Kevin Park, he's on his way to Brandon, take a shot at the Olympic trials, 5-2. Doug Walker, fresh off big win in Lloydminster in the Wayside Inn Classic. He's 5-2, and this could be his year. He's been banging on the door for about a half a dozen years now for big things. Kevin Martin, don't have to tell you about Kevin. He's 5-2, just won that Saskatoon Spiel a couple weeks ago. Mike Johnson, Canada's foremost curling policeman and competitive curler in any division. He's 5-2. Jerry Serink.
There you go.
Sounds like a curler, for Pete's sake. Serink. Brad LaFleur, the youngster from Smoky Lake. Jamie King, another young curler in this league. Cathy Borst, who's on her way to Brandon trying to get an Olympic berth. And Jerry Wilson coming back after taking a year off to tend to family matters and sort of, well, just be lazy. And Tony Gurmscheid, all 4-3. You can see how competitive the league is just by those records. There's the rest of them. Ken Hunka, Trevor McGregor, Jim Henderson, the firefighter curler, Vic Chorney, Tim Kratchner, Rob Chan, Rob Slender, Rob Buchholz, Bill Scheibe, Glenn Duncan, and Ryan Kane, the defending Dominion Junior champion.
And actually, Ryan is going to be our feature game next week. See how his team's shaping up this year.
He's on his way to Wainwright. The big stop on the World Curling Tour coming up this weekend. Ryan and the gang. Garth Von Hagen, Craig Ward, who we're watching tonight, and Craig Kobilka. Whoops.
And as we get
Craig,
back
I
to
think
our...
I promised Craig I wouldn't mention that.
Our feature game here, and Rob Dupuis, the lead man for Craig Ward, just missed a wide open hit, got a little wide in the spot of the ice you can't, and just sort of rubbed that rock you see in the left side of your television screen. So Ken Hunka's lead, Lance Dealey, just split the rings. And as we watch this end, we'd like to welcome a special guest to the show, Larry Longfield, back in from Ontario just because he missed us so much.
We missed you so much.
We missed you so much. Larry is organizing the big winter spiel, which is happening this weekend at the Shamrock. It starts Friday. Tell us all about it, Larry.
Well, once again, the Independent Jewelers is our big sponsor there at the winter spiel for the ladies. There's 28 women's teams from across Canada in it, mostly from the prairies. The games start at noon on Friday and go noon, 3, 6, and 9 on Friday. There's 4 draws on Saturday. 3 on Sunday with the finals, the qualifiers on Monday. So there's some teams here that still have a chance to at least get a second spot in the JVC Women's Tour of Curling.
Now, in the you were mentioning some prairie teams, but there's also a couple of teams from the States in the spiel this weekend.
Yes, we have Patty Lank coming from the States. She's from New York, and the rest of her team's from Chicago. And they represented the U.S. at the Worlds last year. Carrie Erickson, who was the second U.S. team at their own playdowns for their own country, are coming back to this spiel. And I know they just came back from Switzerland last week, so they might be tired from all the traveling. So, and plus we've got Sue Garvey and Heather Rankin, who are the 2 teams that have a chance to, if they win the spiel, they have a chance to move into second spot on the JVC Women's Tour.
And maybe you want to explain what that does for the women's curlers if they do get in the top 2.
Well, the top place team in the JVC Women's Tour gets a chance to play in the JVC Skins game, which is on TSN in the middle of December, played in Thunder Bay. And right now that's Allison Goring, and she's got about $24,000 won on the Women's Curling Tour. And second place is Ann Merklinger from Ottawa area. But Sue Garvey from Kamloops and Heather Rankin from Calgary have just enough money winnings that if they win the spiel this weekend, they could finish second. Now they get some prizes from JVC, but as well, if Allison Goring wins this next week and a half in Brandon, she automatically goes to the Skins game, and the second place team is invited to the Skins game.
Oh,
it's pretty complicated, but...
What the heck did he just say?
Let me at him. Let me at him. Now step back. Let me at him. All
Okay.
right, Larry. Now, some of this is good, some of this is bad. Women do not do a good job of promoting their own sport of curling. You're mentioning JVC. What the hell is JVC?
See, you didn't know that.
No, I didn't know that because nobody tells anybody.
JVC is technical radio and
okay,
products like that. Electronic products, okay?
Good. Well, that's...
And JVC is now the owner of the JVC Skins game on TSN.
Okay.
As well as they are the prime sponsor, title sponsor of the Women's Tour of Curling.
Good. And that's a pretty good tour with a lot of top competitive curlers. All right, I have another question here, and I'm looking at this. Is this your idea or Jerry Gilroy's from Independent Jewelers? I get this. This is one thing I was informed, because you do a good job of promoting your spiel here or anything you're involved in. You're to be commended for that. But when you leave, somehow the women leave with you. An investment workshop. I've been invited to an investment workshop on Friday night at the Shamrock Curling Club in conjunction with your spiel coming up at the Shamrock. Now I think with an investment work, it used to be called a Calcutta. Why don't you just call it a Calcutta and let it go at that?
Well, we just want to make sure that we're legally...
Legal. Well, that's long. We're going to... don't go away, because I got more questions for you, all right?
Okay, we're just popping over to the...
I might invest in the workshop.
Update game. Cathy Borst, this is her last rock in the second end. She's just trying an out-turn hit of a MacDonald stone, which is sitting...
I think she likes it.
Oh.
No, she don't.
It ran. As soon as she let it go, both her and her third, Heather Goberson, said, whoa. So it looks like she's giving Brent MacDonald the opportunity. What is he thinking about? Brent, put the ice down and head down.
Well, they're thinking. They're
They're
focusing.
thinking.
They're focusing. A lot of young curlers today have to think. Even the free draw. I don't know.
Yes, they should have been discussing where that shot was going before Cathy
I'm saying,
missed.
should I take different ice and throw it down the center, or?
I think he thinks
What's
too
that?
much.
Your dad, my dad, and Heck Gervais would have been in the hack, throwing the rock, made the draw, no problem. and be on with the third
Brad.
hand by now. And Orville, Brent's dad, would absolutely have made the shot by now too.
It's a huge key when, especially you have time clocks, that when Cathy Borst was throwing her rock, you should have been thinking, okay, if she misses this, I'm going to put the broom here for my draw. You shouldn't think of it after she's missed the shot, and that's exactly what happened there.
Well, I guess they're relaxing, trying to, you know, get ready and get focused, get all together as a team. Big things coming up here in Brandon this weekend, so we'll give him this game. In the meantime, he certainly didn't throw it light.
And he's got a good shot, so he does tie it up. It's 2-2. Borst MacDonald as we head back to our feature game where Tracy Telford just split the rings for his skip, Ken Hunka. You can see perfect split right there.
We'll get back to the investment workshop just as soon as this end is completed. Can't believe investment workshop. It's a cow cutter for Pete's sake. And I want to bid too. I want to put a bid down. I'll tell you after this end who I want to put a bid down of $100. I want to invest. Sorry, I don't want to get you in trouble. I want to invest $100 in a rink in this.
Okay, what rink?
After this end. In fact, I might not tell everybody because then the bidding will go way up. Nobody else would bid on this rink but me.
It's got to be my team. We got to be worth more than $100, Wes. We're the Italian national curling champions. We're the
Never
Orsini
mind.
team.
Don't think I don't cover that ladies curling, even though they don't offer too much.
So Craig Ward looking to get the hit and roll. He's going to roll too far, though, out of the ring. So Ken Hunka going to put the same ice down that he just gave his third Tracy Telford. Try to put it in the same spot.
Well, you give Hunka the choice of an in or out turn. Guess what turn he'll take 99% of the time. He loves this out turn. Did you ever curl with Ken Hunka?
With Ken? I don't think so.
I had the pleasure once. We almost did serious damage about 15 years ago. But so I played third for him in the city played on. I think we got out of the city. Yeah, I did. We did, and almost got into the provincial play down. He loves this out turn. He doesn't miss anything with the out turn. In turn, maybe once or twice, if he gets the wrong ice or his sweepers don't sweep good. But the out turn, he loves it. Terry Sock and Lance Dealey got this one right off the get-go. They're going to really have to hustle this one. Tracy Telford moves out to help out. Not too enthusiastically, I noted, but he did move out. And it comes up a little short.
But we're going to see Craig Ward's going to have to draw because he can't see any of that rock. It's totally buried.
Well, he's got a little bit of a break here. He's got a. What would you do? Duck it in behind or throw one out and wide open and let him try and hit and stay?
I think you got to try for the freeze. Got to try to get in there at least to that vicinity. Something could go wrong.
Well, you might get two that way. No, I agree with you that way. If he gets it in there and forces Hunka to draw fully in the 8-foot circle, and Ken is named closer than he was with his first draw, you may end up getting two. If you stick it in the open, Ken's going to go after the open one, and worst can happen to him is possibly giving up one. So this is the right shot right here.
Craig Ward, his first draw of the game.
Room, boys.
Pretty good line. Starting to move now. They really got to hustle now. Got the good line on this one. Oh, now they can hold back.
Good looking shot. Doesn't want to bounce at all.
Oh, he's got a great shot. Just perfect. Just perfect.
I don't think Ken can do anything except draw for his one.
No, he had no choice there.
Ken Hunka will need full 8 and then a some. Almost biting the 4-foot to get shot rock.
That much quieter than Tracy's? Yeah? Hey? Okay.
Well, he's moving the ice a little bit from where he tried that first draw.
Full 8 foot.
Well, he's got to stick about 10 more feet on it this time.
Easy. Looks like lots. No, maybe not. Clean. Clean. Just clean. Clean, 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 clean.
It's all the way there.
And
No
there it
mistake
is.
this time by the veteran.
Well, now John Schmidt got right on it, and that thing just kept going and going and going. So a big steal of one after a great draw by Craig Ward. So it's 1-0 for Ward. We'll be back with third end action right after this.
The Herbers Auto Body Super League is brought to you in part by 790 CFCW, the home of Wes Montgomery and Jackie Ray. In addition to country favorites of yesterday and today, Jackie and Wes talk about, well, absolutely anything and everything. It's too much fun. Mornings on 790 CFCW. Home Life Realty. Jerome the Gnome says there's no place like home. Mary Leverington and Jerry Wilson have been helping people with their real estate needs since 1974. For personal, effective real estate service, call the Home Life team of Mary Leverington and Jerry Wilson at 434-3334. Coca-Cola, proud sponsor of the 1997-98 season, wishes the best of luck to all competitors. Always happening. Always Coke.
The Edmonton Inner City Housing Society provides safe, decent, and affordable housing for low-income people in the inner city. We own and operate 9 housing projects in the Boyle Street Macaulay neighborhood. Over 200 people, including singles and families, live in our housing projects. We also have wheelchair-adapted units. Our housing projects are affordable, stable, and secure. Places people can call home. For more information about the Edmonton Inner City Housing, call 423-1339. This message is brought to you by the people at Saville.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ken Hunka missing both of his draws on the second end. He played the second end almost as good as I called the second end, which was pretty terrible. So hopefully Ken and I can look forward to a better night as we move along. All right, we're getting back to Larry Longfield here in the Independent Jewelers Wintersfield 97. Some of the top gals in competitive curling on the planet at the Shamrock starts this weekend. Investment Workshop.
Okay, curling starts at noon. The investment workshop goes from 6 to 8 on Friday night at the Shamrock. Okay, so $100.
Well, now in the investment workshop, you drop around, of course, you buy a ring. Now, I don't think you can get arrested for that anymore. You used to be able to get arrested for that. The biggest bookies in the province are the government, so I don't think you have to give it the investment workshop dealie. I don't know whether I can make it on Friday or not, but I would like to invest $100 on the Shannon Orsini ring just to start.
You might want to go with.
Am I high there or low? What do you think?
I think you might want to join with Terry Morris.
Yeah, but Terry, that's his daughter. Shannon's his daughter. That's not fair. That doesn't count.
He'll outbid you.
Or maybe he knows something. Well, do you think so? Would he go higher than that? They haven't won anything this year.
I think they went for a couple of hundred one year.
Their third hadn't even been in the province for about a month for whatever reason. I mean, why would you bet more than $100 or invest more than $100?
Well, I think we're peaking. We have to peak sometime.
You have a lot of room to peak.
Yeah, we have lots of room to peak.
They played last night, so they're peaking.
Played Ken Hunka, and Hunka beat him over at the Shamrock Curling Club.
Yeah.
See, can't fool me. See? Anyway, that's a good way, and it's lots of fun. And it's a good way to raise money, which is all for that worthwhile cause of yours.
Muscular dystrophy.
And, you know, and it's great curling. There's no doubt about that. But there is a good cause involved.
And you know, Wes, there's teams out here. Cheryl Kuhlman is coming up. And everybody remembers Cheryl Kuhlman from the Scott a couple of years ago.
One of the better-looking lady woman skips.
If that's the reason you want to go for it. I mean,
why not? She's on TV.
Think you might be a little old for her. I'm not sure, Wes. I'll check.
I said she was a pretty healthy-looking lady skip. Who can curl? Remember that she's in the Dominion final a couple of years ago? She was great. Absolutely awesome.
She makes a great shot, too, the other.
Throws the rocks just like I do.
Yeah. And then I was talking to Randy and Russell at the Shamrock, and they were saying that the ice is curling 4 feet, and it's 14 seconds.
Yeah, ice looks great at the Chamois. Yep, so invite everyone to come out. There's 28, some of the best women's teams on the prairies, and starts noon. on Friday. It goes right through Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and the qualifying rounds are Monday. So everyone can come on down and watch some curling. And thanks to Independent Jewelers and all the other sponsors that are helping out. And thanks for coming down, Lair.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you on Friday.
We play at 3 o'clock, and
I got two.
Judy MacArthur from Fox Creek.
You got your hands full there.
I know.
So you still want
$100.
Still want $100,
even though
okay,
she's
well,
playing the girls from Fox.
You know what? Maybe you can even join together with Terry on that one.
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen Terry's money yet. I haven't heard from Terry yet.
Don't know if it's good.
It's his daughter, you know, skips the team. He may know something.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Larry.
Good luck on the weekend.
And as you can see, some great shot making here in our feature game. Coming down to second stones now.
I don't mind this.
This is Ken Gom.
32 years of age, been curling for 19 years. Strathcona County playdowns. Ken with his out turn.
Oh, some very nice shots being made there. And we're going to pop on over right now watching Brent MacDonald. He just let one rock go. You can see Brad Hanna, his third in the house. This game all tied up at 2 apiece in the third end. Cathy Borst has last rock. That's her blue stone you can see there right now that Brent MacDonald was trying to get the hit and roll, but he hit some rolls out. But MacDonald still has shot rock. You can see there.
Calling mine wrong again now.
The
How
back
come we're
apron.
calling mine wrong again? We had that fixed for the last few weeks. Now we're calling everything of mine wrong.
Okay, he just threw that split. You know, the one he bumped, and he was in here somewhere. It took a while to get over. Just remember the last time. Yeah.
Cathy Borst trying the intern come around. She's hoping to suck one in there.
Okay, top four.
She's a chance at her deuce
14
this
and a
end.
half.
Down one.
Just asking her sweepers there about the time. 14 and a half.
Top four.
Might be a little heavier in that spot. Cathy made a couple of great draws in the first end to get her deuce.
Hard! Hard!
Have to hustle this one.
Hurry! Hurry!
Kate Horn and Brenda Bomer were on this one pretty early.
Hurry, 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 hurry!
Nope.
And that rock was a 14-8. She was looking to throw 14 and a half, which would have got her close. So ice real keen.
Oh, it's a little heavier over there.
A
little aggressive.
Could leave her double though for the two, eh?
Nah. Girls too much. This is your intern, buddy.
Put there then. Huh? Same as I threw last time. If I'm short,
Yeah.
I'm short. Short's fine.
They weren't sure.
Oh, your waist is not bad.
Oh, I was like, I don't even know if I would have got the top 12.
So here we are, Brent MacDonald, his last rock. End number 3.
Room. Off.
Just looking to be
Off.
top 12, top 8.
Off. Off.
Blake McDonald and Wade Johnson on the front end. The top young curlers
Hard.
in our neck of the woods in the game today. Looks like he's got a beauty.
Harder.
And he got it in there for second shot, you can see. So now
Either
that
that or just draw. I only have to hit 4 foot, piece of it. Oh, because I missed the double. I just drew.
Good weight calls. It's a good weight call.
Cathy just having a look, seeing if the double's possible.
You like the draw?
The one problem with the draw is you're having to give about a foot more
guys
ice. And you know it's going to be a wee bit heavier.
Way out,
there.
eh?
Yeah, so be secure up there.
Yeah.
See through.
I guess it's still a little early to gamble. If she makes the double, she may pick up 2.
Yeah.
Heather's came down. Yeah, it's keyed with that.
She's pretty sure she can put this in the 8-foot circle. And at the worst, possibly give up 1. 2-2 ball game. Playing the 3rd end.
Whoa.
Looks like she's got a little more weight than her first one. A little further out.
Stay with it. Yep.
Kate and Brenda get at it now.
Hard. Hard.
She threw that a full second and a half harder, so she should be close. Great shot by Cathy Borst. Good judging as well by the front end. So she does get her 1. The score there is 3-2 as they head into end 4. Back now to our feature game. You can see that Ward is lying 1 buried, top 4 foot. And right now Craig is trying to get the hit and roll. Ken Hunka does have last rock in this 3rd end.
Well, Craig wasn't inside with this thing. Let it go with a lot of weight. He's on the outside of the rock. He's going to hit and roll out of play.
And Ken Hunka coming now down to.
You like for
That's okay.
there?
I think I was just in my head. I didn't want to miss it the other way.
Yeah. Didn't. Yeah, he had about hack, eh? Back line.
Sorry about that.
Ken Hunka just throwing a back line hackaway. He made 2 of these against us last night.
I think
He can make them.
He sure can.
nose is no good.
You got the same team curling in the Tuesday Nights League over the Shamrock?
No, he doesn't.
No?
Les Rogers at 3rd, Scott Park at 7, and Mikey was playing lead.
That's not a very good team.
No, not at all.
The regular Tuesday Night Men's League.
That's his B squad.
All right, let's see what the veteran can do here with his in turn.
Wow, 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 wow.
He got it back out.
Nothing.
All depend on the weight if this one starts to work for him.
It doesn't move very much with that in turn. He's got the quiet weight. He's going to get a little bit of it, but I don't think he's going to move it out.
Oh, you're right about that. He wouldn't have enough weight to remove it out of the rings anyway.
Straight nose.
Start that, but then he's got an angle. Yeah, do it.
Which ice you like? Yeah, same weight I just threw.
Well, at least we pushed it out in the open and out turn side.
Craig Ward looking for the double
Yeah.
on this one.
Straight nose.
We wanted to thank their sponsor, Jake's Northern Pride Potatoes. And as a matter of fact, they even brought us some sampling of their potatoes that we'll be able to give away to some lucky fan at the 5th end break. I'm sure they'll leave some for you as well, Wes. Some onions and some potatoes.
Who doesn't like potatoes in one way or another? I mean, you
mashed potatoes. I love mashed potatoes.
almost any kind of potatoes. Just don't put any sour cream on them.
Gravy.
No, I don't like gravy either.
You don't like gravy?
Anything else but sour cream and gravy.
Oh my goodness.
Whoa!
Craig would like to hit and stay in there. Yeah, he looks like he's got a beauty. Good shot.
And gets it out of the rings at the back. Just, yes. And Ken Hunka, that was the one good thing about his first rock.
Back line. The same as I had last time, eh?
That he did push it out into the open. As we watch the replay of Craig's shot. And hit it just perfect. Even got a little of the inside roll.
Back line.
Makes Ken Hunka pay a little more attention to this one. He's got to hit it on the nose. Stay right there.
Just going to try to throw the same weight that he did on his first rock, just enough to move it.
It's Tracy Telford holding the broom. Back in 1995, he played 3rd for Les Rogers when they won the Super League championship. Tracy seems to be quite comfortable playing 3rd, skipping his own rink. He's always competitive. Won more than his share. And he has 23 years of curling. Still lots left for him. Here's Ken Hunka with his out turn.
Now.
Lots of weight. He's got to move. Really got to move. trying to. He's going to get a piece of it, but is he going to get shot?
Yes,
Played
no
close.
problem.
Nice shot.
Good shot by Ken Hunka. So this game all tied up, 1 apiece. Don't go away. We'll be back with fourth end action in just a moment.
The Herber's Auto Body Super League is brought to you in part by the Edmonton Sun. Read the Edmonton Sun daily with your end-to-end coverage of the Herber's Auto Body Super League. The Edmonton Sun, a news attitude. Kevin's Curling Supplies, proud to sponsor the Herber's Auto Body Super League for 7 years. Along with the largest selection of brand-name curling shoes available, we are very excited to have the full line of Adidas curling pants and jackets for the upcoming season. For championship savings and the most knowledgeable sales staff in Alberta, come and see us at our location in the Ottewell Curling Club, 4205 102nd Avenue. Herber's Auto Body, with a 98% customer satisfaction rating. Herber's Auto Body is a family-owned business celebrating its 20th year in the Edmonton area. Free courtesy cars, on-time completion of repairs, and a written warranty go with every job. Mechanical work is also available, including steering, suspension, and wheel alignments. Ask about low-interest financing, too. Herber's Auto Body like it never happened. Shaw is proud to sponsor Herber's Auto Body Super League Curling, bringing Canada's finest curlers to television.
Well, lots of great curling going on in our neck of the woods this weekend. We mentioned the big Olympic trials in Brandon with 4 teams out of this very league, Super Auto Body League, Herber's Auto Body here at the Ottewell Club involved. And we're talking to Larry Longfield about the big ladies competition coming, the Winterspiel coming up at the Shamrock Curling Club. You and I were out on a tour with CFCW at Wainwright, and they're really excited about the Roaming Buffalo Classic, the Molson's Roaming Buffalo Classic. That starts on Saturday. It's a 24-team triple knockout. They've got some great teams. Randy Furby from this league, Ryan Kane, Brad Height from Saskatchewan is involved in that one. And the first prize of $7,200, second prize $3,600. So the gang out Wainwright Way are really excited about that. A stop in the World Curling Tour. And the city's senior men's curling playdowns get underway at Lancaster Park tomorrow. They had so many entries this year that they had to add an extra day on the front of it. And so they start play tomorrow night at Lancaster Park and go right through the week. 26 teams they had entered in the city's senior men's. It's one aspect of curling and the playdowns, which seems to be growing every year. The senior men's, there seem to be more and more men's teams, more men in pretty good shape when they hit 50 that are still anxious to curl and play. That's not the case in ladies curling. It's not the case in men's curling. It's not the case in senior ladies curling. But in senior men's, they seem to be on the upswing as far as the number of teams wanting to compete.
Because you're getting older faster and you get into that 50-plus category.
No, it's just a matter of fact. When I first got into senior men's, and I'm not in it this year, a couple of years ago, there was only 17 teams in it, and about half of them were all decrepit and couldn't play anymore. They were just in for the companionship and the competitiveness. But now they got 26 teams. I'll guarantee it, at least 20 of them can still play and make them all. So lots of action over there at Lancaster Park all weekend.
Yeah, we just saw Ron Dupuy, pretty nice weight, but he just rubbed the top guard. Ron shooting 67% right now. And the second man, Terry Sock, 79%, going for the out-turn hit.
Whoa! Yep.
Right.
And he makes her. Speaking of events coming up, talking about this weekend with the senior men's going on and the big ladies winter cash spiel for independent jewelers going over at the Shamrock. Here at the Ottewell, they're having a big turkey shoot on November 29th, starting at 6:30. Friends, families, kids, anybody, you're invited to come on down. There's going to be curling. The pool table will be going. They'll have a bingo. There'll be draws. It's just a $3 entry fee. You can't beat that. And going to be a lot of fun. That's November 29th. You want to find out more, just give the Ottewell a call about that turkey shoot coming up at the end of the month.
Well, of course, you'd think we're in the United States. That's obviously here at the Ottewell, they're celebrating American Thanksgiving. And so they've got... You don't have to be a Yankee to enter in that particular spiel. And since we're plugging, one more here. The Poor Boy Bonspiel coming up on December the 4th over there at the Shamrock Curling Club. And 32 men's teams Matter of fact, when I talked to Randy and Russell, the managers over there, the co-manager Woodruff, they said they would take 4 monkeys this year if they wanted to pay the entry fee, which is about $410. Good prize money, and great curling club, great curling surface over there. Give the gang a call over there, 466-5789, 466-5789. Poor boys field coming up on December the 4th. I tried to enter our mixed curling team. They said, we'll take 4 monkeys, but we draw the line at your mixed curling team.
Oh,
so we're
thanks
not
a
entered.
lot.
Whoa!
This is Ken Gom. Having a good game so far at 86%. Going for the outturn hit. It's got a lot of weight on this rock.
Take it.
And almost gets the roll behind.
Yeah, the underdogs are kind of taking it to the veterans in this game so far. 1-1 after 3. Craig Ward, his first time in the Herbert's Out of Body Super League. Ken Hunka, the veteran, former manager of the Shamrock Curling Club, are all tied up. Ward has the last rock on this 4th end.
Clean.
Tracy Telford, 86%.
He's not the best curler in the Telford family either.
No, he sure isn't. His wife's much better. She happens to play lead on our team. He's obviously trying to improve his angles. He just got a pool table put in his basement. To improve his, you know,
Is that to
shot.
sleep on or to improve his angles?
Probably to sleep on.
I bought one in my first marriage. I ended up sleeping on it a lot. I noticed that. Beat the couch.
Or the garage.
No, I never tried the garage. Drew the line at that.
And John Schmidt struggling just a wee bit right now, 58%. Looking for the outturn. Come around here.
He's the owner of Smitty's Automotive in Sherwood Park. He knows about automation.
Room. Only if you absolutely have to. Bring it right back here then. It's in the open. It's in the open. It's in the open. Bring it here. Hard. One brush. One brush.
And wide open as we see that draw settle into the back forefoot. Going to check out now our update game, the game that has Cathy Borst leading 3-2. They're playing in the 4th end, and you can see her third, Heather Goberson. This is Cathy's last rock here in the 4th. Looking for the outturn hit and roll behind a long center guard.
Control. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
You don't throw the rock smooth like that without hours and hours of practice. As Cathy lets that outturn go, leaving it all on its own. Not going to get the roll. It stays right there.
So Cathy, she is 71% right now versus Brent MacDonald's 75%. And Brent looking to blank this outturn hit. This will be one of the unknown teams, the Brent MacDonald team, going into the Olympic trials. Obviously, we're familiar with them in the area here in Alberta, but an unknown factor to many teams in other parts of the country. And that probably bodes well for a team going in. Somebody might underestimate you, which wouldn't be a smart idea with that MacDonald team.
You're absolutely right, Jackie. In the meantime, that might have been true a year ago. But since that time, they went to about 3 or 4 spiels where they have beaten up on some pretty big-name curlers. And I know, talking to Brad Hanna, they're coming back after making their qualifying bid in Saskatoon on the World Curling Tour. That's how they got into Brandon. This year, they won a spiel on the World Curling Tour. They're beating some of the top teams from across the country. I don't think they're one of those teams that are going to take anybody's surprise. A year ago, you might have said that, but they've done very, very well, and they're very high up in the standings in the World Curling Tour. So the word is out on Brent MacDonald, Wade Johnson, Brad Hanna, and Blake MacDonald, Brent's younger brother.
But you can bet on this Toronto Sports Network, they're going to be unknowns next week.
In the Toronto Sports Network, they know one team, Ed Werner.
That's it, that's all.
They don't know Kevin Martin won the Brier last year.
Just throw control weight.
And here we see Craig Ward having a great game so far at 86%. He's just looking with his first rock here. Just a hit and roll behind that center guard.
Yeah, not a tough shot.
Just control weight.
The one problem, if he does roll behind that center guard, Ken Hunka can come down to it. It is behind the tee line.
Well, it's shaping up pretty interesting because Craig was mentioning before the reason his team got in this league to play some of the best. And the best usually have a lot of patience in the early going. They'll go with you for about 6 ends, and maybe the lesser talented teams will stay with you for a while. But eventually, the good team will wear you down, and Craig knows that. And one of the team's problems this year has been able to stay with the good teams for the whole distance. They have been able to hang in there in the early going, and they've lost 3 or 4 games by only 2 or 3 shots. But they need to go the whole 10 ends and stand up to teams like the Ken Hunka team. So we'll see how they do as the game goes on.
Ken Hunka going to try to get that hit and roll that Craig Ward missed out on. Hunka shooting under 50% right now. It's been the difference on the scoreboard. Big Key missing a couple of draws in the second end when he had a chance to pick up a deuce.
Well, he doesn't stand to be as sharp as he has been in the last 16 years, being the manager of the Shamrock, where he could go out and when he had some spare time, throw some rocks right out of his office window. Now he's working the oil patch for BMW Monarch in the warehouse, throwing stuff around, and they're not curling rocks, the stuff he's throwing around. He can still play, though.
That he can. It gets a little roll. He barely got by that guard, but doesn't matter. Craig Ward doesn't want to be standing around anyways. He looks to blank the end. He can see almost all of it.
And Hunka with his final stone here.
Says pressure's on. Looks like Slender's going to win. I said, yeah, the pressure's on him just to tie us if we lose.
Wow.
He says, yeah, but we got to win just to stay ahead of somebody that somebody have known.
Obviously, he's got some side bets on.
He does not, Ken Hunka.
One with Rob Slender, for sure. All right, here's Craig Ward with the final stone here in the 4th inning. It's all tied up 1-1. He'd like to hit and roll out. Firstly, he'd like to hit. They better hustle this one.
I think they're on the guard.
He's awfully close to it, for sure.
And he is.
He brought it in a little bit.
Ken Hunka now leads 2-1. Don't go away. We'll be back with 5th end action right after this.
The Edmonton People in Need Shelter Society is a community-based charitable organization whose mission is to improve the quality of life and enhance the well-being of individuals with a severe and persistent mental illness. Services and programs are offered by the Society in the belief that the majority of these individuals can maintain themselves in the community given the suitable supports. For more information, call 424-6733. This message is brought to you by the people at Saville.
Welcome back. We're at the Ottewell Curling Club for the Herbers Auto Body Super League. I'm Jackie Ray along with Wes Montgomery, and we're just watching Lance Deely throw out the first stone here in end number 5. We can bring you up to date as well on what's happening on some other sheets. Kevin Park just stole 2 in the 3rd end, so he's leading Doug Walker 3-0. Rob Buchholz is leading Ryan Kane 1-0. They're playing in the 3rd end right now. You see Stan Gervais is curling for Rob Buchholz. It could be a reason why they're winning by only 1 point. Rob Schlender just picked up 3 in the 3rd end, so he is leading Craig Kabilka 7-0. Gary Greening just picked up a deuce, so he has a 4-1 lead over Vic Chorney as they head into the 4th end. Tim Kratchmer has a 1-0 lead over Brad LaFleur. Brad has blanked the 1st and 3rd ends. And pick up a 3 in the 3rd end has Randy Furby with a 4-2 lead over Tony Grimscheid.
Why would you say that about Stan Gervais, other than the fact he's almost like your brother since day one? Why would you say that about Stan? He's an excellent curler.
That's why. He's like my brother. You tend to pick on brothers. It's good to see him out here tonight.
Well, here's Ken Hunka's got on here. Why would he put this on here? His lovely lady Sheila's right behind me. I asked her, she didn't know. On his marital status on his resume, Hunka puts kind of married. What's that, like kind of pregnant or what? Is that like one peanut?
No comment. I'm not touching that one.
And Lance Deely Three-time Canadian police curling champion with Mark Johnson. They could have won 7. They were runner-up 4 times. And Lance throws it in. Not quite perfect, but he got it in there. They're lying 2. Greg Ward.
We're talking
A little hit and roll if you can get it.
so much tonight about the Olympic trials kicking off this Saturday in Brandon, Manitoba. 4 of our Edmonton rinks heading out tomorrow. And Terry Wagner, our right-hand man during these telecasts, got this off the internet. And what it was an interview in a paper in Madison, Wisconsin. And there, Erica Brown is one of the teams that's going after the Olympic berth to represent the U.S. at the trials. And obviously in this article here in Madison, they had to explain the rules of the game of curling. Now try to figure this one out.
Well, you lose me if you're into the internet, okay?
Yeah.
As far as I know about nets and internets and searching it, I catch fish.
Okay, how about this? It's in a newspaper in Madison. Don't think about the internet.
Okay.
Here's what is in the article.
Okay.
It said, initially, one member uses a broom to push the rock toward the house, while the other 3 teammates sweep in front of the rock to direct the rock toward the center of the target. Each person on the team slides 2 rocks toward the target, and after around 8 to 10 tosses, the team closest to the center of the target wins.
I want to play that team.
You want to play that team?
That may not be over for me.
Could you imagine if the American that's never seen curling read those instructions in that article? They're wondering.
Well, that's the internet for you. Why would you even bother with the internet?
Well, no, what that was, you can take newspapers off. That was an actual newspaper article in the Madison newspaper there locally.
Don't ever quote the internet to me again.
No!
I don't think he understands.
.com.
Do you ever get the feeling that he just doesn't understand? The whole Shaw cable crew here is laughing at him.
Yeah.
Okay. Just got it out.
TV with a picture on it. I like that. Give me a clicker with TV and a picture on it. Give me a blackboard with, you know, a piece of chalk. I'll show you high tech. In the meantime, this pretty simple end right here. Ken Hunka lying 1. He's down 1 playing the 5th end. Terry Sock with his out turn trying to stick another blue one in there. And the pride of New Sarepta. Boy, I tell you what, this guy's got a resume. Do you know anybody else that ever won the Round Hill Open Bonspiel?
Never.
Terry Sock won the Round Hill Open Bonspiel. It's Calgary Stampeder fan. He's still not out of shock from the Eskimos beating the Calgary Stampeders.
And just pulled a little short there, Terry Sock, so it gives him the opportunity to go after that rock. But what we're down now, we've popped over to the game between Cathy Borst and Brent MacDonald. You can see Borst is leading 3-2. But Brent MacDonald lying a couple. One right there in the forefoot. And you can see the other one to the right of your television screen. And this is the first rock for Cathy Borst in.
Control.
And number 5, Brent MacDonald blanked the 4th end.
What's she mean, control? I've never known the word of moderation or control. What's she mean?
Behind ours.
Control means just
Once it gets to the line, it'll
normal.
really go, okay?
So not too much.
Another term I don't.
Yes, not too much, not too little. Just right. Just throw control.
Oh, okay.
If you look it up on the internet, you could see control.
I'm dead.
Clean. Whoa. Whoa.
That's normal?
Yeah, that's control.
Yep.
Looking for the roll. She rolls. Does she roll too far?
No.
No.
They almost let it get away. With that kind of weight, you wouldn't have thought that they would let that thing get away like that. That must have really jerked about the hog line.
Calling, Heather.
That's Heather Godperson, just to the right of, or to your left on the screen. World Junior Curling Champion.
And Brent MacDonald now with his first rock here in the 5th end. Brent just going to be trying to throw one top 8-foot, just biting the 4-foot.
Bad. Could have been wide all day.
He struggled a little bit here in this game.
Sweepers saying it's got lots on its own.
It has got lots.
Blake MacDonald, Wade Johnson.
Put out the brakes on that baby.
He's got lots of room around that guard. Doesn't want to give Cathy Borst the same shot she just had. Heather Goverson all over it now, hoping. But it does stop for shot rock, it looks like. They're having a look.
Tough to tell from our angle.
Yeah.
Cathy's ignoring it, so maybe not.
Oh, there, it's a good
don't
camera
think so.
shot there. Yeah, Cathy Borst is shot rock. That shot of MacDonald's just slid a little far. I'm surprised she's not following it in, but I think the way it's just not finishing there.
Line one. It's got to be T so we don't set up a double, though.
No, she's up 3-2 in pretty good position here.
Doesn't look like enough ice from here.
Katie's or Fedder's? Safe, better than safe, yeah.
Well, you heard her say it doesn't look like enough ice from here, but she didn't change the ice, so let's see what happens.
Should be lots.
It's awfully keen here tonight on both
Straight.
sheets. Brenda Bomer, Kate Horn. Start to work on it now pretty hard as it starts to move with that out turn. Yeah, they're not really getting after it, so she must be close.
Hurry! Hurry! Hurry!
Trying to take it deep so she doesn't set up the double. She got it perfect.
Yeah, that is a great shot. She said not totally buried, but the big key, as she said to her front end, is we can't set up the double, so make sure it's right across, and they are right across. So forcing Brent MacDonald to take his one here in end number 5.
So she puts the heat on Brent MacDonald. With his last rock here on the 4th end, he trails 3-2.
Yeah, back 8.
With the out turn, you heard him, just back 8. Touch shot right here.
Back 1.
Wade Johnson.
Whoa.
And Brent's younger brother Blake.
Whoa.
Looking after things. It's got to move. Got lots of weight on its own.
Clean
He's
it.
got fresh air.
Clean.
He looks pretty good.
Yeah,
Hits and rolls off the
good
side.
shot. So
Nice
that game
touch.
is all tied up 3 apiece as they head into end number 6. And back to our feature game, not much happening. They've just been exchanging hits back and forth. And right now, Craig Ward is just trying to hit and roll over behind this corner guard on this one.
Right over.
Ooh.
Nice shot.
Yeah, makes it a little tougher for Ken Hunka. Ken does not have last rock this end, and he's about to throw
And Lance's went pretty good there,
his
eh?
last one.
The first end, Lance's went pretty good. Yeah. I think with, well, close to normal, eh? Yeah.
Well, we all remember 1993, Ken down there in Calgary, playing Greg Furster of Leduc. The final game,
Normal?
winner
Yours went pretty
goes
good
to
there,
the
first
Brier.
end.
And
It
Greg
finished up.
Furster defeated Ken Hunka, as close as Ken has come to getting a berth to that elusive Brier. There's not a curler I would suspect in all of Northern Alberta wouldn't be extremely happy if this guy got there. He goes whether he makes it or not as a competitor. He ends up there anyway most of the time.
So Ken Hunka could see about half of this rock.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Must be close.
Wouldn't mind a roll behind that other corner guard, but he's got a lot of weight, so he's going to roll out of the ring. So we're just basically going to have a blank this end, I would imagine.
The out turn does here.
And he's just going to blank this end. So what we are going to do is just break away, because we're going to come back here with an interview with Cathy Borst and Brent MacDonald as they have their 5th end break as well. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
You want anything from
The Herber's Auto Body Super League is brought to you in part by Tire Craft. You'll drive through every season with confidence when you prepare for the unexpected with Tire Craft. You'll find a wide selection of tire brands with the ideal all-season, winter, and performance tires to keep you rolling. Tire Craft also provides expert mechanical service, oil changes, brakes, batteries, wheel alignments, shocks, and struts. Over 90 locations in Western Canada. Trust Tire Craft. Sports Can Summit, the corporate clothing and embroidery experts for over 18 years. Their showroom features the largest selection of corporate clothing and sportswear in the city. Sports Can Summit is your fastest and most cost-effective route to true professional quality embroidery. And if you can't come to their showroom, they can come to you in one of their mobile showrooms. An industry exclusive, Sports Can Summit. If it's crested, we do it.
And we're back to our fifth end break. You're probably wondering, why am I holding a sack of onions? Well, it's because the 20-pound pack of potatoes we have is too heavy. We would like to thank the sponsor of the Craig Ward team, Jake's Northern Pride Potatoes, for donating to our fan prize for tonight. And let's see who our lucky fans are.
Olga Babkirk.
Dorothy Antoniuk.
Thank you so much for coming down and watching tonight. There's your bag of onions. Enjoy. Thanks for coming down tonight. And we're going to talk right now and swing over, talk to Cathy Borst. A game we've been watching actually a lot of. We've been going back and forth, and you got to be excited, and thank God it's finally here. Eh?
Oh, I know. You know, it seems like it's like waiting for Christmas for 5 years. We are really excited, and it's tomorrow we're leaving, so let's hope we can put it all together and do all the things that we're supposed to do.
Who's your first game against?
Maryland Bodo. And then we play Sandra Schmirler the same day. So two big, well, I mean, they're all big, Jackie. I mean, you just can't say no one's any bigger than the other one, but that's who our start is, 8 o'clock in the morning, Saturday morning. So let's hope we're wide awake.
Now, it's probably going into this, as you say, when everybody is big, it's probably great that you've been to a couple of Scott tournament parts, because it is that same grueling process where you're playing the couple of games every day, and you got to be at the top of your game every game.
You're right. I really am thankful that I've been to at least two Scott tournament parts to get the feel of what it's like to be amongst the crowd, and just to be in arena ice, etc. And it's helped us a lot, I think, and I'm really looking forward to hoping that it's going to help us for the whole week.
Best of luck. We'll be cheering for you guys. You deserve to be there. You'll do well.
Thanks very much.
All right, Cathy Borst, and the other team that we've been watching, Brent MacDonald. Brent, I was laughing because upstairs you were saying, I just wish it would start.
Yeah, we're ready to go. It's been a long time since we qualified. It was a year ago already, and we're ready. We've practiced all year and built our whole year around going to Brandon, and we're ready.
Are you nervous at all, or butterflies yet, or?
Not yet. A couple of guys on our team said they have, and hasn't hit me yet. It will eventually, but so far it's been just anticipation, looking forward to getting there and getting into the event.
Tell us about your first couple of games. Who are they against?
We played David Smith from Winnipeg first, and then our second day we play Martin and Madaw.
Oh, okay.
So we jump right in.
Might as well.
Yeah, there's no easy games there, so I mean it's all going to be tough. So
play well. You know you'll have a whole city cheering for you back here.
Thanks, Jackie.
All right, Brent MacDonald, and having a great game tonight too against Cathy Borst.
Yeah, it's quite the battle out there. The girls are curling really well. I hope they keep that up in Brandon. They'll do well.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. All right, we'll get back to the feature game here in just a moment.
The Herber's Auto Body Super League is brought to you in part by 790 CFCW, the home of Wes Montgomery and Jackie Ray. In addition to country favorites of yesterday and today, Jackie and Wes talk about, well, absolutely anything and everything. It's too much fun. Mornings on 790 CFCW. Home Life Realty. Jerome the Gnome says there's no place like home. Mary Leverington and Jerry Wilson have been helping people with their real estate needs since 1974. For personal, effective real estate service, call the Home Life team of Mary Leverington and Jerry Wilson at 434-3334. Coca-Cola, proud sponsor of the 1997-98 season, wishes the best of luck to all competitors. Always happening. Always Coke.
Gives you a nice homey feeling, doesn't it, here at the Ottewell Curling Club every Wednesday night, the Herbert's Auto Body Super League. You see grandchildren running around, running into our chairs here. You see grandmothers running around, grabbing their headsets to listen to your interview. See mums and dads. You see people giving away sacks of onions. It really makes you feel right at home, doesn't it?
I love the onions. I've
Save me any onions?
I've never presented a sack of onions to anybody. That is a first. Sorry, I didn't save you some onions.
Yes, I love onions.
We'll have to get Terry on that. Save him, Wes, a couple of onions, Terry.
That's all right. I got some in my fridge at home. They're a little green. You ever had green onions? No, I mean the green. They're not supposed to be green. I got them in my fridge. All right. Well, we got a couple of good games here as we approach just past the halfway mark. 3-3 in our backup game. Borst and MacDonald, and 2-1 ball game going here. With Ken Hunka leading Craig Ward, newcomer to the Super League this year, playing the 6th end.
Yeah, this is Ken Gom, the second man for Craig Ward. 83% right now as he hits and sticks right there. And Ward does have last rock after blanking last end.
Says in his resume, Ken's got his sense of humor intact. Actually curled with Kevin Martin in Schoolboys at one time. I'll actually put in brackets here, partied with Kevin Martin when they were in Schoolboys.
No.
Yeah, obviously, it's Tracy Telford, the veteran third man for Ken Hunka. Ken Gom is one of those guys you like to see involved in curling. Obviously, he can handle himself on the ice, but to see also in his resume that he gave up his time and ran some stats at the Canadian Junior in 96, Provincial Junior in 97, Safeway Select in 95, which we did, of course, from the Avonare Curling Club, Canadian Mix 94. All that tells you this guy wants to get back to the game of curling, and you need volunteers in any sport to make it work, and he volunteered his time, and pretty boring keeping stats, I would think. Well, maybe not, if you get into it. Keeping percentages and passing it on to the officials, and if they happen to be televising, makes it interesting for the viewers.
And speaking of statisticians, we have those very same great volunteers that are here week after week doing it at the Herbert's Auto Body Super League. And they have John Schmidt shooting 70% right now as John's throwing out-turn hit. He wanted a bit of a roll, but hits it right on the beak.
Ain't gonna race this guy in drag racing. 96 Capital Raceway Super Gas Champion, 1996 Calgary Race City Super Gas Champion, 1996 Alberta Super Gas Champion, 1997 Capital Raceway Quick 16 Champion, 1997 second place Battle of Alberta Super Gas. I ain't gonna race this guy in drag
That's John Schmidt, the third.
Yeah.
Craig Ward.
Yep. Hard.
Tracy Telford with his out-turn.
No. Good shot.
Oh, that was a good shot. Had a chance possibly to make a thin double, but Ken thought, no, the odds on shot is to go for the hit and roll. And as you can see,
We can still do this.
right behind cover.
Got just a hair off nose and roll here.
Well, that's a shot.
And the reason it was such a great
Same way,
shot
John.
is that they have to roll just a little bit with the shooter to get it in the rinks to still be lying two. And they dearly would love to get their two this end. They could take the lead.
Well, it's there. He just needs about a half of it. The drag racing champ with his out-turn. All set to let fly.
Whoa!
Waiting for it to move a little bit.
Bob, get it a bit.
Oh, all right, John.
Whoa. Okay,
Oh.
my fault, Johnny. Left it too long.
Yeah, that was Craig Ward just yelling down to John. Sorry about that.
I'll throw normal.
Wanted to make sure that other
what
one.
I was throwing down here before, eh?
Hair more weight. A little over anxious.
That's a tough call. You know, you're talking about inches there. Just rolled about 6 inches out of the rings, or he's got a perfect shot.
Normal?
Just had to hit a little more on the nose to be lying as two, but it gives Ken Hunka the wide open hit.
He needs one of those pool tables as rumpus from like Tracy Telford does. Line up those angles.
I could just invite everyone over to my lead's house. Everyone can try their pool table out. She'd appreciate that.
Yeah, well, here's the sort of married Ken Hunka out with his
Yep.
in turn.
Good.
Likes it.
And hits her right on the nose. So Craig Ward going to try to hit it right back. He's hoping,
Long roll.
obviously.
Yeah.
And there's some good advice there. Craig Ward said, we'll go for the roll. He's got a long way to roll to go over behind that one. But John Schmidt, well, let's get a piece of it first. Get the rock first, and then we'll worry about the roll.
Okay, boys, we'll hit the blue one first. I don't know. That's a pretty tough roll. We want to stay in the rings here, otherwise Kenny will try to come around that yellow one.
He's got that right. There's no need. There's no desperation situation right now. They got the hammer, and they're only down 2-1 playing the 6th hand.
Craig Ward, 67% with the in-turn hit.
Whoa.
Not going to get the roll, but he certainly got the rock.
Ken Hunka already down at the other end. Pretty straightforward shot.
Normal. Yeah.
Lots to wait.
Whoa.
He's trying for the roll now. He's obviously got the shot. No.
Well, the key was to make sure he rolled. He didn't want to hit it on the nose, so it would have made it easy for Craig Ward just to hit it on the nose right back to blank the end. Now, if you look at this shot, Craig Ward's got to be careful that he doesn't hit just half of it, because he'd run it onto that yellow one on the side and come away with his one. So he's going to have to look and try to hit a quarter of the rock to blank the end.
We'll worry about the rollout after.
No, you just play that thing like the Yellowstone in there, don't you? And hope it doesn't do what you just said.
I know, probably now that I've said it.
Not much you can do about it.
Yep. Hard.
Okay, he ends up only picking up one there, so that's it ties the game up 2-2. Hunka and Ward, and we're going to be back with our update game.
The Herbers Auto Body Super League is brought to you in part by the Edmonton Sun. Read the Edmonton Sun daily with your end-to-end coverage of the Herbers Auto Body Super League. The Edmonton Sun, a news attitude. Kevin's Curling Supplies, proud to sponsor the Herbers Auto Body Super League for 7 years. Along with the largest selection of brand-name curling shoes available, we are very excited to have the full line of Adidas curling pants and jackets for the upcoming season. For championship savings and the most knowledgeable sales staff in Alberta, come and see us at our location in the Ottewell Curling Club, 4205 102nd Avenue. Herbers Auto Body, with a 98% customer satisfaction rating. Herbers Auto Body is a family-owned business celebrating its 20th year in the Edmonton area. Free courtesy cars, on-time completion of repairs, and a written warranty go with every job. Mechanical work is also available, including steering, suspension, and wheel alignments. Ask about low-interest financing, too. Herbers Auto Body. Auto Body like it never happened. Shaw is proud to sponsor Herbers Auto Body Super League Curling, bringing Canada's finest curlers to television.
Welcome back to the Ottewell Curling Club. Wes Montgomery and Jackie Ray bringing you the update game right now between Cathy Boyce, Brent MacDonald. It's a barn burner. It's tied up at 3 apiece. We're playing in the 6th end right now. And Cathy Boyce, this is her first rock. She's trying to get an in-turn hit on a Brent MacDonald stone that is in the back 4-foot. You can see it just coming to your screen now, but as you can see, Cathy rubs the front. But Brent MacDonald,
Oh, tight.
does not have last rock, so he's going to have to go after that one because Cathy Borst is lying second and third shots.
Tight, 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 tight. This way.
Good, eh? There's a scratch there, eh?
And there's an interesting view of the overhead camera, which is on our feature game. And it shows you quite clearly that Cathy Borst has second and third shots. So Brent MacDonald trying to get the hit and roll so he can be lying 2 and put some pressure on Cathy as she goes to throw her last rock here in the 6th end.
Hard. 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 Hard.
And got the hit, got the roll too. So Cathy Borst might look at going for the double for 2 here.
Well, I don't think she's got a choice, do you?
Soft nose, eh?
And Cathy wanted to make sure she thanked her sponsors. Hardy Equipment, a John Deere construction equipment dealer for Alberta. Also Bighorn Land and Services, their head office out in Calgary.
Need that much weight.
Cardium Tool Services, Oilfield.
Heather, more ice.
Well, I tell
And
you what.
Savile Systems.
She's a media's
double.
dream as far as giving them
Almost straight back.
statistics and information on their team. Like, I wish they all would be like Cathy. She got it all, even types it out, hands it so we sound like we know what we're talking about here.
And make sure it gave an absolute background. I could tell you the background exactly what all of her sponsors do. Savile is the largest employer of computer professionals in Alberta.
You mean Dimples Company?
Yeah, Dimples.
Dimple Savile?
Dimples Savile.
I didn't know that.
Sponsor of the Powerhouse Greening Mix Team and the
Yes.
Cathy Borst.
Why are we hitchhiking to Sexsmith for the provincial final? He's sponsoring. I thought he was one of those people trying to buy the Oilers.
A nice try there for the double, but Cathy gives up a steal of 1. So it's 4-3 for MacDonald as they end into the head into the 7th end. Yeah, why are we hitchhiking to Sexsmith? Never thought of that.
Well, our lead works for him. Leave it up to her.
And back to our feature game now, where Craig Ward and Ken Hunka. Okay.
Low scoring game. I would have bet against this at the outset, that it would be this low scoring between Hunka and Craig Ward.
The hair tight.
I think I'm confused. I thought that Craig Ward hit and stuck at the end of last end, but they put up the 6th end that they blanked it. Okay, Craig's family saying, I'm not, haven't lost my mind. He did get 1 last end. Okay, good. So the score is 2-2 playing the 7th end.
Get it on. Okay.
I'm still surprised at the low score, even if they put up 1 or 2 more.
Yeah.
Well,
For more of a nose.
regulation play, we've got
I didn't
4
know. I
ends
can't
left
tell
to
the way.
play.
I
2-2.
can't tell the
Haven't
score.
settled anything yet.
Falling for line, right? Yeah, okay, that's okay.
Hit Terry Sock. It's in turn, trying to get a little hit here and possibly a little roll behind cover.
Stop.
Yep.
Gonna be close.
Good shot, Terry.
Nice shot by Terry.
Yeah, we do have a final score. Rob Schlender did defeat Craig Kabelka tonight, 7-1. So that improves Schlender's record to 3-5. Kabelka still looking for his first win this year. He's at 0-8.
Well, we make our move now.
And speaking of Craig Kabelka, he lost in the final
Not quite.
of the Balmoral Curling Club Men's Open in Bondsfield this past weekend. Len Erickson was the big A event winner of that Balmoral Men's.
The old guy. Len will be one of the favorites in the city senior playdowns. Of course, 3 years ago, right here at this Ottewell Curling Club, he won the Canadian Senior Men's Curling Championship. And I think Len's older than I am, and he still throws them just as good as he did a long time ago. He'll be tough.
How's the weight? Yep.
John Schmidt.
Whoa.
They're going after it. They don't have last rock this end.
Splitting all day. Get something on, Rob.
And he's lying 1.
It's not a bad shot at all.
I'm surprised Ken's going after this one.
What would you do?
Well, if Ken has last rock, I'd be ignoring that. I'd be trying to maybe split that top one or try to come around it.
Hard! Quick!
What if he gets his roll behind it?
Because he's going to be in the open.
Yeah, but what if he got the roll behind it? Pretty good shot.
Yeah, but you got to play your odd shot.
Well, worry, it's only 2-2. He does have the hammer.
Well, that's why I thought you might go for it.
It's the uneven
Play the
end.
roll.
Doesn't have to take a chance on the uneven end.
That isn't a chance, though. It was only a biter.
I'm with you, Ken, baby.
oh, yeah, you want to play with him.
No.
Yeah,
You
you're
watch.
sucking up. You
Three
want
more
to play
years.
with
3
Ken
more
Hunka.
years. He'll be senior. He'll be looking me up in a phone book. I'm sorry.
But you'll be in Masters then.
Yep.
Playing both. Seniors, you don't know that either.
Oh, okay.
Right up, boys, right up!
Right at this point, I can't get anybody to crow it. They're masters or senior masters.
Well, that's why we're playing in mixed.
yeah,
See, I
know.
took you
It's
in.
come to that.
What score? No, we got one.
Now.
Now they're changing
Now,
the score.
my skip. Well, there you go. See, he set this up beautifully.
No, you're right. You're right.
Make this little split here. It'll be line 2. Tracy to make this one in his sleep.
It's a performance advisor with Petro-Canada.
What's that mean?
Damned if I know. Hope we don't have any of those at
Check-
CFCW,
check
performance
with-
advisor.
Check with your lead, his wife.
What does Tracy do?
Ooh.
I thought you said he could make this blindfolded with hack weight.
Well, we don't know what he does, and I blew the call. So, so much for you, Trace. See you on the A channel or something.
Tracy talking to himself right now.
It's a 7th end, you know.
What's Craig thinking of doing?
I just don't want to race him on. We're going to miss it. We miss it on the high side.
I don't like this. Grandma, if
Give me
you're
a-
listening, I
give me
don't
some
like
more.
this.
More. Give me the edge. We're going to play this tap. We got to make sure if we miss it high and not go across and chip them on, eh? Straight. Well, I'd like to angle it in between the two of them if I can, but I don't know. We might leave a hole that way. Straight back is good.
Straight back would be perfect.
Time is about the same here, you think, Ken? 13 and a half? I'll throw 13.
One problem, if you make it straight back, then Ken Hunka is just going to try to make his straight back. But
Straight back's not bad. Push it a little bit to the left is not bad, but if he pushes in toward the middle of the house,
No.
then he's looking for trouble.
No.
He's definitely on the outside of it, and he didn't want to do that. He's got lots of weight.
Whoa.
Does he push it in the open?
Well, not a bad shot.
Well, that's the way it turned
Sorry,
out.
guys. I threw it too much.
The
Too
one
hot, yeah.
good thing for him is that there's no way Ken Hunka can get a hit and roll behind cover.
Doesn't look that way unless he plays it awfully cute.
I had ice for you there, and you had come out hack. That's kind of the same path we're going, eh? Gonna throw a bumper.
We skinny ours, we push it in the rings anyway, eh?
Bumper.
The skinny ours, we push it in the rings.
Well, Craig was just a little heavy with his. He got out there on the broom.
But same
And,
path as Tracy. Tracy had about a hack on his, eh? Close to hack. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you had to remind him that his draw weight had hack. And kind of
Well,
funny,
that's the line.
a note that just got passed to
Seeing
me,
the rings in the corner there.
talking about John Schmidt not putting up the right score the last end. John's response was, he said they wanted a blank and he just hoped no one would notice that they put up the wrong score.
well, sometimes you can fool us.
Play.
Yeah, no problem there.
Right, Ken with just his quiet out turn. He's got it.
And he
That's a
sticks
good
around.
shot. That's a good shot.
Yeah. rolls away from the guard, so can't make that one really any better. You don't want to. That's a good spot to roll too.
Can't get any trouble over there. So how much can you win on the weekend if you win everything?
Yeah.
I don't know. Sorry. The Independent Jewelers Winterspiel at the Shamrock.
That's the one you're in?
Yeah, we play.
That's the one I'm talking about.
We
yes.
play 3 o'clock Friday. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, win about $3,000 or $4,000. You win it
I
all?
think the year we won it, I think it was something like $5 or $6 grand with rings.
So many years ago. With the rings. Well, those are $500 rings from Jerry Gilroy and the gang at Independent Jewelers. So it's a pretty good prize right there. Well, Craig has got this one.
And he's going to roll too far. No, hangs on there, so he's got to make Ken Hunka work for his blank.
Sure he does. He's got to really work for a blank. That's a good shot by Craig. I don't know whether he was doing that, thought he could do that on his own, just hang it out there. Now they're looking to see if they can't roll that blue one in off the front, maybe for 2 yet.
Both full 12. I think so. Huh? Hey.
That's not the easiest.
Blank. No. Got to make sure we get one here, though.
I like this. You like this?
I like this,
That's
but
the ice
then
I
again.
gave you. I think with.
No, don't give me that again. You like it or don't you like it?
Like back 8, yeah.
He's going to try and roll that blue one
I like it, but I still don't understand why he hit earlier in the end on that little
It's
biter,
over.
that
It's
little
over.
floppy on the right
Don't look
side.
back. Look
Don't
ahead.
look back? Okay.
Makes this, he gets to
Okay.
well conceived
Yeah.
end.
Hit a third, we can get. Hit a third, we should get both full 12. And make sure we get one. That's a tough, it's not that easy of a blank over there. Hey?
I don't think, I think 90% of the curlers, whether that's an easy blank or not, where it is over there, would try and get the 2 here anyway on the 7th tied up game. Worth a try.
Ken Hunka trying back 8-foot weight on this one to get the split for 2.
Yep. Hard. Clean. Clean.
Hard, clean means it's pretty close.
Hard. Whoa.
I think he's got it.
Oh, yeah.
How you like that?
Great shot by Ken Hunka.
What a well-played end. What a
and we
called end by Ken Hunka.
Boy, did we ever call it
Well,
wrong.
one of us did.
So it's a 4-2 for Ken Hunka leading Craig Ward, and it's trivia time. Dun, 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 dun,
I don't
dun.
care
Put your
about
thinking cap on, Wes.
Well, you bought out the
A regulation developed in 1821 still applies today. When a player falls and is hurt, the rest shall. You should know this one.
Oh,
You've done this.
This is hurting below the collarbone.
A, not touch the player. B, make sure no rocks have moved as a result, but buy the player an ale for every rock not moved. C, not laugh, but render him every assistance to enable him to regain his former erect position. Wes, what do you think?
Well, I don't have, there's obviously no such a regulation.
I like B. I'm going with B.
No, you not laughed, and you got to go with C. But the guys I curl with, and what you're talking about, is it happened 2 years ago in Drayton Valley. George Spanish, Ron Forwick, and Dr. Hank Shimbashian. We were curling an early draw Saturday morning. I happened to slip and fall going to the aid of one of my teammates. I flipped up in the air, landed on my head, my collarbone, knocked myself out, cracked my collarbone, broke 3 ribs, pulled some muscles. They did take me off the ice, propped me up on the steps in the waiting room, said, "Are you all right?" And I sort of nodded stubbornly, and they went back out and finished the game.
That's very funny. The answer,
Oh, yeah,
of course,
right.
we're both going, I shouldn't be laughing, but we know the answer is C. So, yeah. Yeah, we're going to come to the update game right now, and I'm sorry, I shouldn't have laughed.
Well, they didn't laugh. I'll give them that
Didn't
much.
laugh.
Yeah.
No, that's true. C is Rick having some fun with us tonight there in the production booth. And now back here to our game between MacDonald and Borst. MacDonald leading 4-3. We're down to skip rocks now.
I have to do it again. Oh, cross.
And you can see Borst is lying one there. It looks like she shot rock.
What do I do then?
Top 4 foot.
Bump our blue, maybe?
I don't think there's any doubt about that.
And Cathy Borst has last rock this end.
This is Brent's first one on the outside of it.
Yeah, I was looking to get the hit and roll in, but hits and rolls out. Cathy now trying to figure out how she can get in there July 2.
Tap it back. Try right there. And if anything, it might take this one away too. Just got to get one in there first. Yeah. Okay. I know Brent is really sad out there. I don't know. She's tabby.
Cathy Borst.
You guys see anything else?
Going for the raise.
What do you figure you're throwing out here?
What's she doing here?
What?
Just trying to angle that thing back in behind there for.
Yeah, just
It's
throw
good.
it back 4 weight probably.
She's down 4-3. She's got the hammer. Playing on the 7th end. Lion 1. A tough shot here.
Sure is. Not a lot of room for error.
This is a championship shot. This is why this lady has won so much. She can make these shots. Lots of weight. This could be close now.
Oh, what a
How do you
great
like that?
shot. Look
Ooh.
at that.
Kath, you want to remember that one in Brandon, kid?
That's for sure. And she is lying 2 now. Brent MacDonald now having a look. It's his last rock. He only leads by 1 as we watch the replay.
Just perfect.
If we tick, we come through too, eh?
And sits right on the button.
Cathy in good shape here. Brent MacDonald.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like he's got the hole. It looks like he can get through there and get the double.
Huh?
Just enough room for a rock to get
Could
through.
we get through there?
Well, the hole is there, but even they're talking about even if it, maybe he could tick one of them and tick the other one and still get through there and end up on top of those blue stones. But I think there's room, don't you?
Yeah, it looks like they look a little staggered, so it's a tough shot. That's the first thing the lead, Wade Johnson, asked, can we get through there? Is there a hole? And Brent's response was, of course there's a hole.
Yep.
Yeah, I think there is too.
Yep.
Yep, hole would indicate they're close. Let's see.
Oh,
he just ticked it. It's oh so close.
Oh, that was close, but he has opened it up now.
You jump it early and
He just barely brushed that one. That was so close for Brent MacDonald. As we watch the replay, you can watch it just brush. They got on it a little early. Had a lot of weight on it, and it just ran straight.
Well, I tell you, Brent is ready for Brandon. I mean, I heard him say yep, oh, 3 times,
Yeah.
and now they tick it, and he said, oh, they jump it early, and look what happened.
Yeah, he's blaming it on the front end.
Yeah, I tell you, he threw it well. If he keeps throwing it like that, he'll make a lot of shots.
Real close. So Cathy has a draw for 3 here that would put her up 2.
Great shot with that first one. Really set this one up if she can finish it off. She doesn't have much room to draw to here. This is every bit as tough a shot as that first one.
Line's good.
Gonna try and come through that
Wait.
hole.
It's got a curl. Line's good. Just for weight. Just for weight. Just for weight.
Certainly has the line. Certainly has the line. It's going to stop on her.
Oh, yeah.
Will it stop? Ooh,
Nice
Cathy.
touch. Cathy Borst draws in there for 3, so she now leads 6-4 as they head into the 8th end. 2 great shots by Cathy Borst.
Awesome. 2
And
shots.
in the trivia standings, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see there, I'm leading 4 to 1.5 for Wes. The 0.5 is still towards the jury. We're still not sure on that one. Oh, there's
year.
even background music in there. I like that.
Well, I don't know whether I'll do this again next year, but if I do, there'll be a little clause in my contract about this trivia.
What, make sure you win?
Well, the producer won't have anything to do with it, number one.
Well, you'll think up the trivia questions, I
No,
suppose.
we'll have an impartial trivia thinker-upper.
Thinker-upper. Tracy Telford at 80% throwing out-turn hit. If he makes this, they'll be lying 2. Oh, he's throwing the in-turn, and he's going to jam it. He does so. So it gives Craig Ward the chance to split the house to possibly lie a couple.
Well, here's where Craig Ward and his team felt they had to improve in the Super League, I guess, against this tough competition of which they haven't been exposed that much of over the years. They have stayed close in a bunch of games this year, and only to lose by 2 or 3 points in the later stages when the pressure is really on. And that's what they've done in this game. They're very much in this game. They're only down 4-2 to the veteran Ken Hunka, and they have the hammer on the 8th end. Now is when they've got to take it up a notch, just like in any other sport, and really get after it for the last 3 ends or an extra
Gotta be
end
T
if
or
it has
better.
to be that way.
Well, it's
The one thing, when you're playing a guy like Ken Hunka, you got to make sure that you don't set up the doubles, because he'll go right after you.
Good stone, Johnny.
Stone's a little deep, so Tracy Telford going to have a chance to redeem himself.
Well, this is what Craig mentioned to me before the game. When we get to this stage of the game, we haven't been able to put the pressure on them. They put the pressure on us. And here's a chance for Ken Hunka, because John Schmidt was just a little bit heavy. He's in the house line 2, but they would have liked that on the tee line, so there was no chance of a double and keep the pressure on. So let's see if Tracy can take advantage of that draw that was a little heavy by John. Lets it go on the outside a little. Got to wait for this one. Certainly has the rock, but he's got no double. Unless he gets the wild way, maybe.
That's it right on the beak. So now it's back to John Schmidt. Got to hit her on the nose again would be a good spot. John Schmidt having a good game at 73% right now.
Comes with his out turn. Tell you what, John's got to be careful with that delivery.
Yeah, he got his elbow out there a little bit.
Well, that's not what I meant. He hit and rolled out. You get to, what is it, the provincial level or the northern playdowns? They start
Oh, the hog line
the
violation.
hog line violation, because he's plenty over on that one, but they don't bother about that. It's sort of honor amongst thieves in this league.
Yes, that's funny. I was just about to say that when our team used to play in this league. That was sure noticed that a lot of guys, including the Kevin Martins and the Kevin Parks, over the line, but somehow they can suddenly come.
Well, they just let it go in this league, and there's nobody really complains about it. The fact of the matter is, when they get to, I can't remember, it's not the city playdowns, but if they get the northern playdowns, I think they have the officials out there, and you start doing that, they start pulling rocks off.
Ken Hunka 71% going for the in-turn hit here after John Schmidt hit and rolled out. A crucial error on John Schmidt's part. He's got to make sure you hit and stick on rocks like that, but Ken Hunka now says, there you go, Craig. Craig going to look probably for a blank now this end.
Well, I hate listening to commentators keep repeating themselves, but it was Craig that mentioned, and this is where they have to improve. John had a chance there to draw for 2. He had to be on the tee line, not set up the double. He was a little heavy, and they were very fortunate that the Hunka's team did not
He slid out a little wide.
take advantage of it.
His release was good.
Gave them another chance. John had another chance to hit and stay for 2. He hit and rolled out, and all of a sudden they're scrambling.
So Craig Ward 73%. Just looking to nose this one.
Yep. Yep. Right up, boys.
Nice way to hit and stay on this one.
It changes the shot a bit, which is good. Ken Hunka. The end of the third end, he was shooting 40%. At the end of the fifth end, 59%. The end of the seventh, 71%. So started out slow, but has come on strong, especially splitting for two to get his deuce last time. Great shot.
This old guys takes a little time to warm up, that's all. There he goes, bingo.
So now Craig Ward
Play the
going to
out.
try to blanket.
I think play the out turn. What do you like? I think the out turn's easier to blank.
Easy, easy, Craig.
We almost lost him.
All right, Grandma, he's all right, Grandma, if you're still watching.
So this is the final rock of the eighth end. Craig Ward only trailing by 2. Blanks this end, picks up a deuce next end, and it's anybody's game coming home.
Yep.
Definitely got a piece of it. Whether he's going to roll out, we'll have to wait and see. Going to be close.
Ken Gom sweeping it, and he does roll out, so it's a blank. Don't go away. This game's getting exciting. We'll be back with the ninth end in just a moment.
The Herber's Auto Body Super League is brought to you in part by Tire Craft. You'll drive through every season with confidence when you prepare for the unexpected with Tire Craft. You'll find a wide selection of tire brands with the ideal all-season, winter, and performance tires to keep you rolling. Tire Craft also provides expert mechanical service, oil changes, brakes, batteries, wheel alignments, shocks, and struts. Over 90 locations in Western Canada. Trust Tire Craft. Sports Can Summit, the corporate clothing and embroidery experts for over 18 years. Their showroom features the largest selection of corporate clothing and sportswear in the city. Sports Can Summit is your fastest and most cost-effective route to true professional quality embroidery. And if you can't come to their showroom, they can come to you in one of their mobile showrooms. An industry exclusive, Sports Can Summit. If it's crested, we do it.
Edmonton City Center Church Corporation serves disadvantaged people in the inner city. We offer a variety of housing services. We also provide snack and lunch programs for hungry kids, outreach services, safe housing for street youth, and employment training for youth. For more information about Edmonton City Center Church Corporation, call 424-7543. This message is brought to you by the people at Saville.
Those people at Saville are really nice, aren't they?
Yeah, especially the teams they sponsor. We have a couple of more final games for you here tonight. Randy Furby stole 6th in the 5th end, so he defeated Tony Gurmscheid. 13-2 is the final there. Randy Furby now in first place all by himself, depending on what happens with a few other teams here tonight. So Randy has a 7-1 record. He beat Tony Gurmscheid, who has a 4-4 record now. Tim Kratchmer, what are you laughing
How
about?
do you steal 6? Tony can, how do you steal 6?
Well, they were already down 7-2, so you know Tony was going after it, and he was going for it, and it just didn't quite work right.
Is that Tony up at the bar?
Probably. So the other final is Tim Kratchmer over Brad Lafleur. Both those teams now at 4-4. And the game earlier saw Rob Schlender defeat Craig Kobilka. Schlender's record 3-5. Kobilka still looking for his first win so far this year.
Back at the ranch. Got a couple of dandies going here. Laying down
Just
on
tap
the
it
ninth
back.
end.
Not even out.
Craig Ward from Alliance. That'd be about the same population as where were we on that Agreebo tour? Tees.
Tees, yeah, be about the same. I think we're number 1 in Alliance.
No, Alliance is a village and Tees is a hamlet. So I think Alliance has one more grain elevator than Tees. That's where Rudy Ramcharan
It's got a curl, guys.
also grew up.
Kinda
So
wave,
Craig
guy.
was in pretty good company there.
And here's Rob Dupuis.
whoa,
He put up a
excuse me.
nice corner guard
Whoa.
with his first rock.
Whoa.
And just pushes it behind the tee line. That's a good shot by Rob Dupuis. And now back over to our backup game. Cathy Borst sitting in the hack right now. This is her first rock in end number 8. And right now, looks like Brent MacDonald is lying second and third shot. Cathy going for the in-turn double. Doesn't look like she's throwing much weight at this.
You got to get it back first. She's got the one. Does she get the back one? Not quite.
No.
That's a pretty good shot, though.
She is shot rock. Brent MacDonald hoping to get two to tie this game back
He
up.
only threw like hack, and he had less ice than I did. Yeah.
Fuck's sakes, Brad.
And now we have
I hate when he starts doing this.
Brent MacDonald just getting into the hack right now. Just trying to hit about 3/4 of it.
See what the line looks like. Whoa.
Whoa! Didn't want to touch that back one.
Oh, and he just does. Had to curl a little more.
Had nice weight.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Just a half more revolution of the handle.
Yeah, I can throw a little more weight
A little
too.
tricky in there. I know Cathy was a little concerned with her in-turn in that same spot, and it almost got away on her. That one of Brent seemed to just hang there.
Touch more weight now. I can see more of it. Touch more? Yeah. Even just to sit right there. Just nose. Board up.
She can end up with a nice roll here and put a little heat on again.
Easy hit.
Throwing a little more weight than her first rock. Already up 2 after making a couple of great shots last end.
Clean.
To pick up 3.
Yep. Yeah. Nose. Nose. Just nose. Whoa. Just for nose. Just nose. No.
Well, it's that half and half shot.
Yeah,
Tough one to call.
you could see why she didn't want the roll, because if she gets
He knows it, so he couldn't double him.
he can double it and be out of the rings and blank the end.
Yeah, with that weight, it was a tough one. You could almost hear what Heather was thinking. She upped her weight a little bit, and that wasn't going to move.
No, because then it's easier for him to double and roll out then.
Boy, you skips are really tough sometimes.
So Brent MacDonald.
Well, it's still a double. You still got to make it.
Still got to make it.
Last.
And the way he hits it, it could jam onto the yellow
sure.
one that is at the outside of the rings at the back of the house. So that's one they got to keep an eye out for.
And one is big here, playing the 8th end.
You bet. They can't afford to give up one. They'll be trailing by 3. So it's a huge shot here for Brent MacDonald.
All right.
He's got a lot of weight though.
A little bit inside, but it looks like, whoa, he missed the back one. He's down 3.
He is so Brent MacDonald misses the double, and we're back now to our feature game where Craig Ward, after blanking the 8th end, is trying to get a deuce to tie this game up. Tracy Telford in the hack right now. This is Tracy's last rock. And you can see that Craig Ward is lying a couple. But there's a chance for a double right here with this shot right now.
Yep. Hard. Quick.
Got to hustle. He's on that front one.
Yeah, just hits the top, and you can see they're lined up perfectly for the double, but Tracy got a little inside. You could see when he released it. Now what do you do with it?
Well, got to make sure he can't get that double. So he's got to put it right where he tapped the broom.
You want to make sure you err on the right side, not on the left side. So a big shot here for John Schmidt.
Mentioning all the success that John has had as a drag racer. Well, his crew chief is his skip.
Where's the weight?
The super gas drag car. They're obviously very close throughout the year, these two.
Okay, just clean, just clean.
Tracy Telford does have another rock.
Whoa.
So he has a chance to redeem
Nope.
himself.
Nope.
John's all the
No.
way there. That's really starting to move now.
Good stone, Johnny.
Well, a little further than they wanted it.
This double, when you sit right there, cuts their house down, eh? Hey?
And that was the key there, where John Schmidt a little deep, because you want to be top 12 foot there. What you heard Ken Hunka indicate to his third, Tracy Telford, is that
I thought I was going to really break.
let's make the double. If you sit right there, it cuts his house down, and it really does, because top 8 foot doesn't give him a lot of room to work.
Well, relatively easy shot for Tracy here. Threw his intern little inside the first time with big weight.
Hard!
They're on this one too.
Quick!
He's close. Yeah, perfect.
Boy, Trace.
Yeah, it's a good shot. Sits right there, and now where does Craig Ward go with this one? Doesn't have a lot of room. Possibly the intern coming around that. So we watch the replay there.
Nose.
Oh, he's going to hit it.
He is going to hit it.
I kind of like your shot. John hits and stays with this one. He'll
be third shot.
He'll make Ken do something. That's starting to move a little bit.
Okay.
He's all right. Yeah, not a bad shot.
Shot. Huh?
Wouldn't hurt, eh? Huh? You can't. I don't think there's a jam there, eh? Is there? Boy, you'd have to be, yeah. Exactly.
He's thinking double the whole way. What he was worried about was the jam right onto that blue one, but he said you'd have to be pretty unlucky for that to happen. So we'll see if Lady Luck is with
You'd
Ken
have to be
Hunka.
awful unfortunate to jam and leave it sitting in the rings. I'm gonna try to make the double. Huh?
Well, you can't argue with this shot. Ken can throw the big weight.
Sure can.
So I doubt very much if he'll jam this one. He's right there, and he may get the double. Never know. Worst thing that can happen, I would think, that he ends up giving up 2 this end. Has a hammer coming out. Tied up ball game. Let's see how he does. Big weight, as I mentioned. He's got it on the right side. Let's see. Bingo. Bango.
Oh.
Does he get it out?
No,
Don't
it
think
doesn't
Tracy,
get out.
No, Tracy can't get it out.
So it squirts it out there, so it gives Ward the chance to split the rings.
Most of the jam that way.
Had a little more of that rock. I didn't think it was possible that way, actually.
Still 13.5 here, Ken.
Yeah.
Craig Ward checking with his front end of Ken Gom. Rob Dupuis making sure still 13.5. I've got my
That's the best.
trusty stopwatch. I'll let you know.
Remind me to mention the deadline for the NACA spiel coming up and the ladies spiel.
Yes,
coming
we're
up after
ready.
we finish this in. We'll give a little plug ski there.
Okay. Want this just behind the tee line.
Looks like he's got lots of weight to me.
Big shot here. Huge shot for Craig Ward. He's heavy by the indication of the stopwatch at 13.2. But he might hang around the back, and he does.
Don't give me quote that stopwatch.
How do you like that? See, at 13.5, he would have been on the tee line. How do you like that?
Threw it perfect. Man threw it perfect. Saved his front end.
Saved his front end.
Threw
You
it
like
just
that.
perfect. No double there. I love it. Attaboy, Craig.
So now Ken Hunka going to try to hit the
Normal.
stick.
Hanging in the nose.
Wants to force Craig Ward to have to hit and stick to get his 2.
I don't want to give him an easy one. This intern doesn't move. They've thrown a bunch of rocks here, and it's. But any kind of weight. It doesn't seem to move very much. The veteran Hunka, all on his own too. They're not touching it. A little bit on the outside, and he rolls towards the he
boards.
sticks around. However, it's not counting.
So this is what Craig Ward has played the past 2 ends for. The deuce, and he's got his chance right here.
Well, I would suggest he'll let his sweepers work this one a little bit.
I think if you throw a 13-2 down the middle on Ottewell ice, you'll be through the rings.
Well, don't, you know, that's
Oh, did I just curse him?
I mean, the man just threw one back there. Perfect. Wide of the 8-foot circle and 12. Now it just takes a couple of feet. Never mind.
Oh,
Take a couple of
see,
feet
you were
off.
talking there, and I didn't get a time. I missed my clicky.
Yeah, if I thought it would mess up your clicky, I'd talk all the time. It looks like he's perfect here.
Yeah. And it is. So we are all tied up going home. Don't miss the 10th end. It's coming up right after this.
The Herber's Auto Body Super League is brought to you in part by 790 CFCW, the home of Wes Montgomery and Jackie Ray. In addition to country favorites of yesterday and today, Jackie and Wes talk about, well, absolutely anything and everything. It's too much fun. Mornings on 790 CFCW. Home Life Realty. Jerome the Gnome says there's no place like home. Mary Leverington and Jerry Wilson have been helping people with their real estate needs since 1974. For personal, effective real estate service, call the Home Life team of Mary Leverington and Jerry Wilson at 434-3334. Coca-Cola, proud sponsor of the 1997-98 season, wishes the best of luck to all competitors. Always happening. Always Coke.
Okay, got to give this little plug ski in here.
Okay, go
The
plug ski.
NACA Spiel, the annual NACA Spiel, that's for the men, starts a week from this Thursday or Friday, but the entry deadline is this Friday. So phone NACA, and for the first time ever, are you in that one, the gals?
Yes,
Are you in with your team?
We're playing in it. We're over at the Crestwood.
Crestwood. Well, anyway, for the first time ever, the ladies and the men are having their spiel at the same time. I don't know in the same rink if they'll allow that.
I don't think it's in the same rink. However, if you want me to come dance with you wherever you are,
No
whatever
dancing.
rink.
I
No
don't
dance.
have a team yet, but it's going to be older, compatible rink.
Oh, older.
4-4-0. We have you heard the 3-guard rule and the 4-guard rule. We have the right guard rule. So when we play, we wear no deodorant. 440-4270 if you want to enter. And 440-4270. It's Marilyn Morris over there, the mother of your skip. And if Jana answers, say it's okay because she's my niece. I couldn't believe it. I phoned the other day. I was getting a hold of Mary Lynn. She said, "Do you remember me, Uncle Wes? My name is Jana." And I thought, Jana? I know one Jana, Peace River, and that is the daughter of my first wife's sister. Jana works for Mary Lynn over there. How do you like that?
My first wife's sister.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Tight.
So if Jana answers the phone, put in your entry and say that it's all right. Uncle Wes sent you. Haven't seen Jana for a long time. I used to know when she was that high. Jeez, look at that. Tomaduck.
Your
was her
height.
name. Iris. Her dad was a good baseball player, good hockey player.
Here's Ron Dupuis, 78%, and he made his first draw. It was a little, they wanted it more on the center line because obviously they have got to steal here. Lance Dealey tried for the split, but
touch it up. Okay,
drove it out.
Whoa,
So
whoa,
the
whoa, whoa, whoa.
3-guard zone rule, they had to put the rock back. And
That's a nice rock, Rob.
And we're going to just check out our update game there where Cathy Borst just stole one in the 8th end. So she is leading Brent MacDonald 7-4. These two teams both flying out tomorrow to Brandon, Manitoba for the huge Olympic curling trials that are going to be taking place. And as you can see there, Cathy in a wee bit of trouble. She is looking at 2 MacDonald stones behind covers. So Cathy with her rock here is just going to be trying to freeze into that pile. This is Cathy's first rock. And remember, Brent MacDonald does have the final stone.
Well, I'll tell you what, this great, I don't know if they need it or not, great confidence builder for Cathy and her team. They've been absolutely awesome in what we've seen so far. Brent's team's not curling that bad, but Cathy's really got to go. She's got a lot of weight on this one. I don't think that's going to come enough.
As soon as she let it go, she said lots. And she does push out. Oh, well, at least she got rid of one in this shot rock. Oh, yeah, and Brad Hanno.
Yeah, Brad's got a chance to pick up a deuce here and maybe three.
Yeah.
And you can see, I think, what Brent MacDonald is looking at doing. If he can go right across the house, he could be lying 4.
Need half a
possibly 5.
Well, I don't know that blue stone up in the 12-foot circle.
Think that's counting something out?
Well, it's tough to tell from our angle. I think it is. Well, I think he's just playing this to hit and roll behind cover.
All he needs to do is move that blue stone on the side about 5 inches. Doesn't have to move it out of the rings. You can see right there.
And he jams it on that other blue one. Well, we'll find out pretty soon.
1, 2, 3. It looks like they're lying 3, but it does give Cathy something.
Yeah, it's 3.
Make sure we get by ours. If he hits this one, you can only get. What's that?
It's a good shot by Brent MacDonald.
Yeah.
Well, at least this one we can weld to the face, though, maybe, right?
They're just trying to decide which one they should be
I like
freezing
this
to.
one here, I think.
That one or the other one?
This is almost the same spot where I threw that one for that draw.
Well, what do you think?
Okay, give me the same ice then.
Pretty tough to get it out if they put it right where Heather put the broom.
And I think that's
probably the best they could do, unless they just get by and put it right there where Heather's got it. That's a perfect place. If they can get it there.
And I think the ultimate right now.
This. Otherwise, you're getting 5 anyways. Don't you think?
She's got to get this in there. She's right.
Yeah. I like right on the back.
I think that's a good call, because even if you did maybe get behind that one, Brent MacDonald will be going, even if he'd have the possible raise on his own that's out in the top 12-foot. I think it's the best shot just to weld to that back one. Big shot here for Cathy Borst.
Line's good.
She's up by 3 and looks like she's going to need it.
Just for weight.
She's in the game if she gets it
Gotta
in
be
there,
welded.
period.
Whoa! Whoa!
Lots of weight.
Whoa!
Lots of weight.
Oh, she didn't want to move that rock at all.
But they were hurrying. They kind of got a little overexcited there. However, that eliminates a possible 5-ender, I would suggest.
Yes. I think he can make this for 3 for the tie. Tough shot, though.
Well, he can get 3 here.
Huh?
Hmm? He raises his yellow up and chips the blue out. No, that's too tough.
I can?
Why?
To raise the yellow up, it's too tough.
Oh, we need
What
to
could
freeze.
Brent
We
be
need to
possibly
bump.
looking at?
He must see something, an angle from the side.
I think this is only for 2. 2? 3.
You know what I don't get is how you think it's 65. You did 55. You didn't punch yours, mind you. And 65 went further. Yeah, I was surprised how far.
They'll end up taking their 3 if they can get
If you
it.
tap it onto that one, we'll still get 2, eh? Or 3?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's
Both
back
there.
line.
Yeah.
And that's what he's doing. Just has to hit it about half of it to get his 3, which would tie this game up.
It's a wild angle double raise over there they were looking at, thinking maybe 5 or 6, but I don't think so.
No. Get your 3, be happy you'll be tied.
And he's got to work for this too. He's got to hit it on the outside. Pretty cautious weight. Got to make sure you're 2.
Touch more.
If you get
More.
the 3, fine. Out he comes with his intern.
Yep.
From Grand Center, Brent MacDonald. He certainly wasn't outside with that thing.
Hard!
They got to really work this thing.
Hard!
Wade Johnson, Blake MacDonald.
Harder!
He's got 2. Is he going to get his 3?
Yes, it looks like it. 1,
Looks
2,
like it,
3
yeah.
it is. So that game is all tied up, 7 apiece. Going home, Cathy Borst will have last rock. And back to our feature game here. What happened was John Schmidt on his first rock of this end, that's the rock you see sitting on the 4-foot. Tracy Telford tried to run the front one and the one on the 4-foot. Just narrowly missed the back one.
Merrily missed the back one?
Not very merrily. Tracy was not merrily singing along after he just missed the last one. And then Schmidt just put one in there perfect, top 8-foot. And this game all tied up.
Yeah.
Ken Hunka does have last rock. Tracy Telford still has 1 more rock to come here. He's going to try to run this. It was just one of those unfortunate run backs where you either hope to peel the front rock off or get the run back and get the one in the rings, but Tracy just beaked it on the nose and came away with nothing. So they're going to try that same run back right now, hoping to come away with, get rid of at least one of those yellow stones that are in the house. Telford at 76%.
All right, with Hunka with the hammer coming home here on the 10th end, all tied up.
Hard!
Peg Ward has got something going.
Yep.
Must be awfully close. Bingo.
Oh.
Bango. Oh, how do you like that?
I think he's merrily coming down the ice.
He can merrily come down here now.
Does he break into a smile? No, not yet.
Center guard?
Trying to keep serious.
Out of camera range. What a modest guy.
What a watch this shot here. Ken Hunka calls it beautifully.
We don't have last rock here.
Bang, bang. Even better, he opened up the middle of it.
Shot by shot rock down.
He's going to rip the guard. He's going to rip the guard and we guard.
Well, it's the kind of league it is. That's why they call it the Super League. You see super shots by super curlers.
Well, I don't like any of those options.
Looks like he's playing the hit here, is he?
Well, it's...
You got to throw up a center guard, don't you?
I would throw the first one out in front, yeah.
Even if you're sitting right in front of that rock that's sitting in the house.
Yeah.
So we only got one chance to put a guard up.
That's right.
He's going to rip it though, isn't he? Well, let's try this.
So he's going for the hit.
Hit and roll behind cover.
Boy, Tracy made a hell of a shot. Yeah. Jeez. What do you guys like here? Put up a center guard, he's just going to rip it.
Yeah. So you either go in behind Durst or you hit this one. And then try to roll, I guess.
Well, I like the hit. If we make the hit and roll, that's good. If we hit it in the open, he's going to look after it, then we'll come around the guard. I don't want to do anything that's going to make him rip that guard off. Yeah. That's our only hope. Eh?
Well, there's his thinking.
If we get the roll, he rips the guard, we throw up another guard. That's all.
And there's something to say about that. But he's got to make sure that he hits and stays, hits and rolls. He's got to keep his shooter rock in play. If he doesn't, Uncle peels off the front one in the game.
Got a stick.
And he does hit and stay.
A lot of weight on that rock. Ken's going to hit that one anyway.
Well, the worst thing that can happen to Hunka now, of course, if he makes this and stays right there, is he gets the drop to the 4-foot for the win.
Yeah, he doesn't mind. He has a huge 4-foot to draw for if Craig Ward in his last one just comes around that corner guard that's there. And Craig Ward, 80%. Great game. Ken Hunka, 74%.
And Hunka got off to the brutally slow start. Came on strong at the end, just at the right time. All right, here's Ken with his out turn. He doesn't really care if he hits and stays with this baby either. Doesn't want to roll to the inside. That's just fine.
Yeah, doesn't mind that at all. So now it depends which one he likes it better. Want to throw the out turn, come around. You can get a piece of the 4.
He'll make that all day. He makes that all day.
So what are you going to come here?
You're going to come here.
I don't think he can just...
Well, we can't take everything.
Well, it's got to be a little bit...
You're going to leave him a 4-foot draw.
You can't pick it. Like, you have to be... You can't see any of it, so he can't pick it.
Well...
So we have to leave him a draw. So we have to be...
We're going to leave him something no matter what.
No, but you know what I mean. If he picks it, this counts. As long as it's by. Is that by?
That might even be showing him half, but it doesn't do us any good to wreck. No, I don't like the hit.
Well, come down to one shot here.
Okay, boys.
Craig Ward.
What do we need, Ken?
After 6 straight losses, he finally won one. A couple of weeks ago, beat Doug Walker.
Rather show him half than Rob here.
Trying to make it 2 in a row. He needs a great shot here to put some pressure on Ken Hunka, who's got the hammer on the 10th end. It's all tied up at 4-4, and this is Craig Ward's last rock. Trying to draw this out turn in behind that blue stone. He got it well out onto the broom, so he's got lots of room. I gotta hope this one jerks.
Lots of room.
They gotta get it in. They gotta make sure of that. I'd be going for it now.
That's a nice shot.
Whoa!
You can't do much more than that. That handle straightened up on him in the last 6 inches. I don't know if it caught something or...
Still a tough shot there.
Sure is.
Ken Hunka finding out how much he can see of it. If he can see enough of it, he'll go for it.
That goes, you know, well, Ken was pretty quiet for him with that first out-turn takeout, and that might pay off right now.
Huh?
That rock he threw and hit and stayed up there in the front of the 12-foot circle gives him a little leeway with this shot. He does not have to stay with this rock.
Normal.
So this is it.
Awfully deadly with his out-turn, this guy.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You said that in the very first end of this game.
Then he missed one, too, right in a row as soon as I said it. But that was before the old guy warmed up a little bit. You want to bet on this one?
No.
You chicken. All right, here he comes. The out turn, just a normal takeout.
Clean.
They got to wait on it. He likes it. As soon as AJ just clean, you know he's got something. He likes it.
Yeah, I didn't have to worry at all.
Hey up.
I didn't bet you. So Ken Hunka wins. He improves his record to 4-4. A great showing by Craig Ward's team. They drop to 1-7, and we'll be back to talk with the Skips right after this.
The Herber's Auto Body Super League is brought to you in part by TireCraft. You'll drive through every season with confidence when you prepare for the unexpected with TireCraft. You'll find a wide selection of tire brands with the ideal all-season winter and performance tires to keep you rolling. TireCraft also provides expert mechanical service, oil changes, brakes, batteries, wheel alignments, shocks, and struts. Over 90 locations in Western Canada. Trust TireCraft. Sports Can Summit, the corporate clothing and embroidery experts for over 18 years. Their showroom features the largest selection of corporate clothing and sportswear in the city. Sports Can Summit is your fastest and most cost-effective route to true professional quality embroidery. And if you can't come to their showroom, they can come to you in one of their mobile showrooms. An industry exclusive, Sports Can Summit. If it's crested, we do it.
Steps up to the plate. Oh, thrashes one into left field. It could be. It might be. Oh, yes, Elvis has left building people. This is his second at-bat. He's 1 for 1. Pounds one into center field. It's going. Oh, and another home run.
If you build it, they will come.
You're hearing voices, Nathan. It's the first sign.
We're on the ice here with Craig Ward, and Craig, right down on the last rock. That was a great game.
Oh, it was a great game. All the boys made their shots, and we kept it pretty close, played it pretty cautious, and Kenny's team come up big in the 10th end.
You've always said this from the get-go, and this year it's going to learning experience. You've got to come away with this game with a lot.
Yeah. We've actually had some really tight games like this year, and this is about our 3rd or 4th game coming home tied up without last rock. So, yeah, we have some learning to do, and maybe when to make our move and stuff. But I think we can play here.
Well, it was fun to watch tonight. Thanks.
Thanks a lot, Jackie.
All right, Craig Ward, and let's get Ken Hunka in, who now, Ken, you're back at 500, which is important.
That's right. It is important. It's nice to stay try to get into the top 12 for the final of the year. So it was an important win. We were struggling a little bit still, but played a little simpler tonight, and things worked out.
What's next for your team?
We're going to go to the NECA Bonspiel next weekend, not this coming weekend, the weekend after, get some games in, and then the Poor Boy at the Shamrock, which is a week after, which, by the way, there's still lots of openings, so anybody that wants to enter, phone Russell or Randy down at the Shamrock Curling Club, 466-5789.
This guy's good. Thanks, Ken.
Thanks, Jack.
Okay, and let's go back upstairs to West so we can catch the end of that great game between Cathy Borst and Brent MacDonald.
All right, Jackie Ray, and it is a great game. This has really been a beauty. Our backup game and our feature game, Craig Ward and Ken Hunka, was a dandy, too. Lots of rocks in the play in this game, our backup game, Cathy Borst and Brent MacDonald. If you just joined us on the 7th end, 2 brilliant shots by Cathy Borst. Got her team 3 down on 7. They moved up a couple. Then on the 8th end, Brent MacDonald attempting a double with his last rock, managed to pick out only 1, and Borst stole 1 to go up 3. And then the MacDonald ring came right back in a well-curled 9th end and picked up 3 to tie it up. So that's the way it is, 7-7, playing the final end. And Borst has the hammer, and Cathy is in the hack right now with her first rock of this end, with the MacDonald foursome line 3. However, the shot rock is very much in the open, and Cathy Borst with his in-turn is trying to hit it. It's in the 8-foot circle and possibly roll behind cover. Both Kate Horn, Brenda Bomer on this one. Heather Godperson calling it just perfect. Now there's teamwork. Great call by Heather Godperson III. Great sweeping by Kate Horn and Brenda Bomer, and a great throw by Cathy Borst as she hits and rolls behind cover. Really putting Brent MacDonald in a bind.
And do you think these two teams are ready for the Olympic curling trials coming up? Cathy Borst team an 83% team average to Brent MacDonald's teams at 80%. Going to be fun to watch him next week.
Well, and you mentioned earlier, TSN are just going to do a great job. They're going to pick up those Brandon trials. 10 top ladies team, 10 top men's teams. 4 of the 20 from this league.
Ours is top 8 here. She's got to come way out there.
TSN will have action every day.
What's that?
I don't know. This is a tough decision here.
Easier than the straight back because that other one there. That's all. Just make her shoot with this one for sure. You make this one perfect. It's gorgeous.
Which one? The outturn? Oh, the straight back, yeah.
Straight back's gorgeous, but it's a little risky. I like this one.
What's up to you? Whatever
I like the draw. Whatever you feel like. Draw that outturn.
Got 3 shots here.
Hey, dear.
You can drive either one of those Yellowstones back.
No, it won't be up.
Looks like he's going to the angle hit on this. So basically, if he does make it, Cathy Borst just needs full 8-foot, piece of the 4 to be shot rock.
It's either that or he's got to draw around all that stuff. He's going to take a chance that Cathy doesn't hit the 4-foot with the draw, as Jackie Ray mentioned. In the meantime, he's got to make this. Angle, raise, take out. See how he does. This is his last rock. Brent MacDonald.
Close, yep.
On his way to Brandon, hoping to carry Canada's colors in the Olympics in Japan this winter. He's got an angle.
And he makes it.
Back. Beautiful shot by Brent.
Can't make it any better, but it does open it up too. So Cathy Borst.
To the outside.
He's not going to be upset with that. Well, this is one of the shots that you hope she makes. If you're a spectator, this is a fairly simple shot at this level. You want to see Cathy go to Brandon with lots of confidence, her and her team.
You guys can get any times on those rocks that they all
I think Brent MacDonald probably even pulled 4 on this one.
Well, I don't know if I go that far. Being beat by a woman is not a high in a man's
there. Well,
list.
they both go. Brent made his. Let Cathy make hers.
Okay.
Boy, you're tough.
just speaking the truth. Because Brent MacDonald, obviously big for him. He wants to share that first place with Randy Furby here in the Super League, and this would improve Cathy's record to 5-3.
Yeah, she's right there. I'm betting on Cathy, okay? You owe me 2 bits already on the Hunka game.
Yeah, I'm timing.
They jump on this Kate Horn and Brenda Bomer right off the bat. Now they back off. It's usually a good sign.
Need full 8-foot.
Oh, I like this. I like this.
Easy, easy.
Now you're down 50 cents.
There you go. Great shot by Cathy Borst. She wins the Brent MacDonald. Best of luck from everybody in the league to those 2 teams heading off to Brandon. And make sure you join us next week when we have Ryan Kane, the defending junior men's Canadian champion, going against James Paul. It's the Herbers Auto Body Super League. Good night, everybody.
The Herbers Auto Body Super League is brought to you in part by Herbers Auto Body. With a 98% customer satisfaction rating, Herbers Auto Body is a family-owned business celebrating its 20th year in the